is not hurt quite as seriously as first believed. They don't think he's going to have to be DL'd. He might play as early as next week. That certainly is good news. Teak, about this road trip. Phillies lost the first 3, have won the last 3. Where do we stand?
Well, I think Jim Fregosi has to be happy about the last 3 ball games. The first 3 ball games kind of picked up right where everything left off before the All-Star break. Now the last 3 ball games, 3 wins in a row, and I think Jim just really wants the ball club to get that feeling back, that winning feeling that they had in the beginning of the year, so they can go ahead and just relax and play the kind of baseball that they're capable of. There's nothing really wrong with the ball club except that it just doesn't relax and play the way they should play. So hopefully these 3 games will be something to build on to just get that momentum back like it was at the beginning of the year.
Get a little greedy, though. You want one more win in L.A. before taking on the Giants for 4. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineups in just a moment.
First base, Brian Gorman.
All right, listen up. We have a fugitive that's been on the run for 90 minutes. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and dog house in this area. Put that gun down! I didn't kill my wife!
Harrison Ford is The Fugitive. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 6th at a theater near you.
The Cadillac Eldorado has the performance answers to make driving enjoyable. A 200-horsepower V8, an electronically controlled transmission, and a speed-sensitive suspension. Eldorado also has the financial answers, because now you can lease a 1993 Eldorado for 24 months for only $469 a month with $21.93 down. And with terms like these, they're sure to go fast.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco. Save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola. Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Foods, the company that says, trust your family with our family. And by Independence Blue Cross, Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people. Nice night here at Dodger Stadium. Beautiful night as always. And let's check out the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phillies. Leading off, Lenny Dykstra. Batting second, Mariano Duncan. Hitting third, John Kruk. Batting fourth, Dave Hollins. Then the catcher, Darren Dalton. Batting sixth, Jim Eisenreich. Batting seventh, Milt Thompson. Then Mickey Morandini and Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. We'll be back here at Dodger Stadium in just a moment.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade.
Eric Karros at first base, Jody Reed at second, Jose Offerman at short, and Corey Snyder at third. Eric Davis plays left with Brett Butler in center and Henry Rodriguez in right. Mike Piazza does the catching, and right-hander Oral Hershiser on the mound for the Dodgers.
Nice gone, Teak. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It misses outside, ball one. Dykstra hitting at 296, and here's Oral Hershiser.
Hershiser, a 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, slider, and change. Not quite the pitcher he was a few years ago before the shoulder surgery. But, still a very quality pitcher. We've seen the last couple nights Dodger pitchers have predominantly been working the Philly hitters away. I don't think you're going to see that from Hershiser. He knows that he has to work both sides of the plate, move the ball in and out.
Well, yeah, it hasn't worked out very well for them. Here's a ball lifted in the air and should be caught, although it drops in. It found the open spot. Looping single for Dykstra as he put it right between 3 of them. Reed, Butler, and Rodriguez. Nobody could get there.
Shortstop.
Well, Reed goes way out on this ball, but it actually, when it gets this far in the outfield, should be one of the outfielders. Brett Butler pulls up early. He does not have a chance. He's shading Dykstra over toward left center field. Rodriguez in right field did not get a very good jump on the ball, and he was very hesitant. And there's a ball that should have been caught to start this ball game off that was not. Dodgers defensively just did not cover that play very well at all.
So that's hit number 112 for Lenny. Interestingly enough, he and Butler came into the ball game each with the same number of hits, 111. Here's Duncan. Mariano at shortstop tonight. We mentioned in the opening that Kevin Stocker is not hurt quite as seriously as was feared last night. The Phillies now believe that they will not have to put him on the DL, but in any event, Duncan will be the shortstop until he returns. Good thing Mariano himself just off the DL until after the All-Star break. 6 homers, 34 runs batted in. Dykstra always a threat to go, by the way. 24 stolen bases for Lenny, been caught just 4 times.
Hershiser's had 2 starts against the Phillies this year and hasn't fared very well at all in those 2 starts. He's 0-2. He's only pitched 7 2/3 innings, given up 16 hits, 14 runs, only 7 of which were earned, so the Dodger defense hasn't helped him out very much either. And in those 7 2/3 innings, he's walked 6 and only struck out 2. So the Phillies have had Hershiser's number so far this year.
He's 0-2 against the Phillies, and his 4-8 lifetime record against the Phillies is his poorest record against any opponent in the National League. And as a matter of fact, you have to go back to May 14th of 1989. That's over 4 years to find his last victory against the Phillies. 1-2 the count on Duncan. And right out of the stretch, Orel has to work here because of that looping single by Dykstra. Keeps Lenny close. Eric Karros in your picture. He was the National League Rookie of the Year last year. Looks like the Dodgers are going to have the Rookie of the Year again this year in Piazza. The Bugs are out there again tonight. We've been bothered by him here in LA. There's Piazza from Norristown, PA. Bounces away from him, and Dykstra is going to get to second base. Lenny to second on a wild pitch.
Hershiser here just overthrows the slider, just buries it right in the ground. Piazza tries to get out there and actually did not get down to the ground quick enough. The ball hopped off the ground, bounced off his shin guard, and bounced up the first baseline. Wasn't able to find it right away, so Dykstra easily got down to second base. But you know, we talked about Hershiser in the past and the way he was a couple years ago. He would just paint the inside, outside, inside, outside. He could move the ball and do whatever he wants to. When you see pitches like that miss that far, you know that Hershiser just isn't the kind of pitcher that he used to be.
Orel told me one time earlier this year, we were talking down around the batting cage. He said, you know, I'm really learning to pitch all over again, learning how to use my new stuff. I don't have what I once had, but I still have major league stuff, and I'm learning to use it.
Well, he's become a different style pitcher. Before, I mean, he was just so overpowering. All the movement that he had on the ball, the great location, the good velocity. He had all the ingredients. Now he's pitching with a little shorter deck. He doesn't have quite the snap and the bite on his slider. The sinker's not quite as sharp. The velocity is not quite as hard. So he has to be a little bit more of a finesse pitcher.
Duncan went after it. That's a strikeout. Hershiser gets the first out of the night on a K. And that'll bring to the plate John Kruk.
Batting third.
Again, the breaking ball from Hershiser, the slider way low and outside. Dunk just couldn't hold back right there. Guessing fastball, looking for Hershiser to try to paint the outside corner, but that was just a bad pitch by Hershiser that turned into a good result because Duncan was a little bit too anxious going after that ball.
And one of the good things that happened there was the way Piazza handled it, because Dykstra would have been on third base had he not handled it. And as a matter of fact, Duncan might have been at first despite the strikeout. All right, here's Kruk batting .347, the 4th best average in the league. He is the league leader in drawing walks, 77. And Kruk knocks the Bugs away. They seem to disappear about the time the sun goes down completely, about the 3rd or 4th inning.
You know, once it cools off a little bit and the breeze picks up, they clear out of here. So.
Where do they go?
Probably over on the hill in those trees, I guess, and nest until tomorrow night.
Okay. Well, we won't have to worry about them tomorrow night, that's for sure.
No, not unless they do some long-distance traveling up to San Francisco.
Don't allow bugs in San Francisco. Got a lot of other problems up there, but no bugs.
They can't fight the wind up there.
That's right.
Headwinds are too strong.
Any bug would be blown right on out of it. If they can blow a pitcher off the mound there, they sure as heck can't keep bugs around. The 1-1 pitch. A little high. By the way, the Phillies have a day game up in Candlestick Park tomorrow, so this is probably the toughest travel that the Phillies will face all year, going from a night game to a day game in a different city. The bags are packed. And the Phillies starting pitcher tomorrow, Terry Mulholland, was sent up on a plane at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Terry can have a full night out and still get a good night's sleep and pitch at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Nice early dinner, turn in early. You have a tendency on days like that when you send your starter ahead to make sure that you lean on him just a little harder, because everybody else is going to get in about 3 o'clock in the morning. You believe that Terry will know tomorrow that everybody else is a little short on their rest. So
they'll let him know, that's for sure. Kruk gets a piece of it. Full count on John. Phillies trying to get something here in the opening inning. The Phillies scored 2 in the first inning on Monday night, and the Phillies scored first last night, but that was in the second inning. Kruk with the top on-base percentage in the NL. .473 is his on-base mark. Breaking ball, he didn't swing, no sir. Charlie Williams says no swing, and there's another walk for Kruk, his league-leading 78.
15, third baseman Dave Hollins.
The batter will be Dave Hollins, hitting at .275. Phillies have 2 men aboard with 1 out. All of the individual hitting numbers against Hershiser are tremendous. For example, Hollins, 3 out of 4 this year, .455 lifetime, 5 for 11. You go up and down the lineup. All of the Phillies have hit Hershiser. Hollins has batted safely in 6 of the last 7. Got the corner. That's Joe West calling the balls and strikes tonight. Hershiser was born in Buffalo, New York, but he says he really doesn't know where he's from because he was raised in Cherry Hill, New Jersey and Bloomfield, Michigan. He went to college in Bowling Green, Ohio. He says, I guess that makes me America's pitcher. Now makes his home in Pasadena, California, overlooking the Rose Bowl. Ball and a strike on Hollins. Tommy Lasorda nicknamed him the Bulldog. Remember when he did that, Tiki? Earl always thought that his baseball persona more likened him to an accountant than a tough pitcher. So Tommy said, I'll toughen him up. I'm going to nickname him Bulldog.
Well, Tommy did it on purpose, too, because he wanted to plant in Hershiser's head the fact that he had to be aggressive. And, you know, before the arm injury, that's exactly what he got into him. He was an aggressive pitcher, very much so, and he was a little more tentative before he got that nickname. It just kind of gave him an identity and kind of pushed him in the direction that Lasorda wanted to move him in.
He, of course, had the 59 consecutive scoreless inning streak in '88. That was the old Hershiser before the surgery. It broke a record that had stood for 20 years set by Don Drysdale. Don at that time had already started broadcasting games and interviewed Hershiser on the field right after the ball game. Fouled away. Drysdale was a close personal friend of Jim Fregosi, and his widow Ann Myers has been at the ball game every night. In fact, I was down on the field with Jim before the game tonight. There's a look at the patch that the Dodgers are wearing, commemorating the death of both Campanella and Drysdale. So Hollins walks away. Hershiser still knows how to pitch, even though his stuff might not be as great as it once was.
Mentioned before with Duncan, it was a slider. Now it's the curveball, straight down, a little bit off speed. Hershiser used to throw those pitches in the strike zone. Now he tries to work them just out of the strike zone. It'll be interesting to watch, too, as Hershiser works tonight. You know, with Mike Sochi behind the plate for so many years with Hershiser, he used to start working on the corners, and as the game would go on, he would progress out farther and farther and farther and actually stretch the strike zone. It'll be interesting to see if Piazza has been able to get into that routine and work with Hershiser in that way.
Breaking ball to Dalton for a strike. Darren doesn't have a hit this year off Orel, 0 for 4, but .250 lifetime, including 1 home run. Phillies have already won the season series with the Dodgers, taking 9 of the 11 so far, this being the final match between the Phillies and the Dodgers this year. And going back to last year, the Phillies have actually won 12 of the last 14 games they've played with LA. just missed. 1-1 on Dalton. Second in the league in RBIs with 69. Giants won their game today, and Matt Williams had 1 run batted in. So he and Galarraga are each only 1 behind Darren at 68. Ball driven to right field. Rodriguez is there. Dalton lines to Rodriguez, and down go the Phillies. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 2 at the end of a half inning. Phillies nothing. Dodgers coming up.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity, and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates. Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn how the mountain man survives even the most grueling conditions.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic. Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
Certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Hey, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat, like yourself.
That dog is moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yay!
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
You're very welcome.
Here's the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Dodgers. It's Brett Butler, followed by Jose Offerman, then Corey Snyder. Eric Karros bats cleanup, then Mike Piazza, Eric Davis, Henry Rodriguez, Jody Reed, and the pitcher Oral Hershiser.
And defensively for the Phillies this evening, John Kruk at first base, Mickey Morandini at second. Mariano Duncan is playing short tonight for Kevin Stocker, and over at third base is Dave Hollins. Milt Thompson is in left field, Lenny Dykstra in center, Jim Eisenreich in right field. Darren Dalton is doing the catching, and on the mound, 26-year-old right-hander Tommy Green. Tommy's last start was this past Friday. He was the losing pitcher in a 5-3 loss to the San Diego Padres, but in that ball game, he pitched 6 strong innings, 6 shutout innings, giving up only 4 hits, and then all of a sudden in the 7th inning, the roof fell in on him. The Padres scored all 5 of their runs in that inning, 4 of them off Tommy, so it was a real good performance that turned into a loss right at the end. So Tommy's hoping that he can pick up where he started last game and then just carry it a little bit farther tonight.
Tommy is facing the Dodgers for the 4th time this year. He beat them 2 of the 3 times that he faced them. And the Phillies won the other game even though he didn't get a decision. So he has a good record against LA and 3-2 lifetime against the Dodgers. Here's Butler at 304. Butler with 111 hits, always a threat to bunt. Takes high a ball. He has 17 bunt hits, so Hollins plays shallow, as you have to with Butler. Butler has not homered this year. He has gone to the plate more often without a home run than any other player who's had at least 100 at-bats.
I think we almost need to change that on Butler now. He's not always a threat to bunt. He's almost now always a bet to bunt.
That's true.
As often as he has, very few plate appearances go by, you don't at least see an attempt for a bunt from Butler.
And it doesn't seem to matter much what the count is. I mean, we've seen him bunt with 2 strikes. We've seen him get a bunt hit with 2 strikes. It's 2-1 on him here. Offerman on deck. In the air to right field, should be caught by Eisenreich. Very good outfielder, Eisenreich. We've really been impressed by his play this year. Butler is retired, 1 down. Tommy looks like he's all business out there tonight.
30. Shortstop.
As he should be.
Here comes Offerman, the shortstop. Pretty much proved that he is a major league hitter. His question mark still remains that play at shortstop. Offerman has a .335 batting average at home, 100 points, 110 points actually lower on the road. He's hitting .225 in the road games. It's been tough on the Phillies. .381 against Phil's pitching this year. Strike. 1-1 on Offerman. Snyder on deck.
You mentioned Offerman's defense. 92 ball games he's played in this year. 21 errors. That's a ton.
And you know that's an improvement over last year.
Yeah, and that's bad when that's getting better.
Well, it was USA Today when they sized up the teams at midseason the other day. They came up with a great line about the Dodger defense. They said it's vastly improved this year, all the way up to average. Here's the exact reading. They said the defense is vastly improved all the way to ordinary.
Well, Tommy Lasorda has suffered through a couple of years of some real bad defense by the Dodgers.
Liner sinking, base hit for Offerman. Dykstra gets it on one hop, and Offerman has a single. Well, we told you he's been tough on the Phils. That makes him about a 400 hitter off Phil's pitching.
Well, this is the part of the game that keeps Offerman in the lineup. Gets a fastball from Tommy on the inside part of the plate, about between the thigh and the belt, and just slams it right back up the middle. So offensively, he does not come up short. His weakness is in that defensive area.
Corey Snyder steps in. Snyder at 279 with 6 homers, 34 RBIs. Here's a guy the Dodgers signed to be a spare part, and tonight is his 61st consecutive start. Playing in the outfield because Darryl Strawberry has had so many problems this year, and then shifted to third base after Wallach got hurt. To center field, Dykstra has it lined up. Lenny knew it from the moment it was hit. He was going to be able to get it. Snyder lines to Dykstra for the second out. And a slumping first baseman, Eric Karros. Here's a guy who has only 1 home run in his last 96 at-bats. Last year's Rookie of the Year, still carrying a pretty good average, 270. 9 homers, 37 runs batted in.
And the Dodgers really need him to hit because Mike Piazza hits behind him in the lineup. And you know, if Karros can start hitting and moving guys around the bases, he's going to give Piazza a lot more opportunities to drive in runs. Piazza already leading the ball club by a large margin in RBIs and home runs, but if Karros gets going, he's going to make it even more difficult for opposing ball clubs.
You know, Piazza also leads the Dodgers in runs scored. Now, we talked earlier about how Dykstra and Butler have exactly the same number of hits, but Lenny has scored over twice as many runs as Butler. So the Dodger offense obviously revolves in a different fashion than the Phillies does.
Phillies has started from the top, and the Dodgers is ignited in the middle.
Fouled it back. It's no balls and 2 strikes on Karros. Karros and Piazza share an apartment together. They live down in Manhattan Beach. Carpool it to and from work. Mike was telling me that the one sleeps while the other one drives, and they take turns.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. I said, well, how long does it take you to get to Manhattan Beach? Because I went down there the other night. It took about an hour and a half. He said, about a half hour. Here's a ball hit in the air to left field, and it is caught by Thompson to end the inning. For the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. The end of 1/29th when the Phillies are back to play the Cardinals. We've got our 3rd midday game of the season coming up. Business person special against the Cardinals starts at 12:35. All the activities that day, compliments of Mellon PSFS. Get your tickets ahead of time by calling 463-1000. Those Cardinals are the Phillies' closest competition right now. They are only 4 back as of this moment. Bottom half of the 2nd inning in Los Angeles. Mike Piazza leads it off. He's having a terrific year, batting .316 with 19 homers, 63 runs batted in. Talking about his figures against some of the great catchers of all times. In Johnny Bench's rookie season, he had 15 home runs. Piazza's got 19. In Yogi Berra's rookie year, Yogi knocked in 54 runs. Piazza already has 63. The great Bill Dickey only knocked in 65 in his rookie year. Piazza a sure bet to top that too. He's been in some great company here. Roy Campanella's rookie year was 1948. He only played 83 games. He had 9 homers, 45 runs batted in for the Dodgers. Foul ball.
I'll tell you what, I will concede to you that Piazza's having a good year. I'm not quite ready to put him into that category yet with the Benches and the Dickies and all those guys. But I'll tell you what, he is off to a tremendous start. And what a great story. I mean, here's a guy that basically was signed to his original contract as a favor to Tommy Lasorda. He was picked in the last round of the draft. So I have a little empathy for a guy like that. I wasn't even drafted. I got signed out of a tryout camp, and knowing what you have to do and go out and play year after year and produce in the minor leagues to get a chance to work your way up, and then for him to be able to come up and have the kind of start that he's having, I think it's just tremendous.
And we got a lot of people watching Sports Channel tonight who are kind of divided in their loyalties. They're rooting for the Phillies and rooting for Piazza. Of course, we have his family in Norristown just flat out rooting for the Dodgers and Piazza.
I was going to say.
1-2 the count.
Speaking of Norristown, Mr. Norristown.
Got a piece of it. Those bugs really bothering Mike.
That ball there, foul. That wasn't a bug that bothered him that time. The ball jumped up and bit him right in the mouth after he fouled it off. Wow. That'll rearrange your dentures a little bit. And now the bugs are good. Now you got bugs and ball. Tommy's got a few bugs. There's enough to go around.
We are scoreless, each team with 1 hit so far. Tommy Green with a great pitch strikes out Piazza. Tommy's first strikeout.
A good sequence of pitches by Tommy. Every pitch was on the inside or outside. This just a little bit of a cut fastball off the plate outside. Piazza fully extended. Let's go with the one hand trying to get out there just to waste that pitch, but that was just a good sequence of pitches by Tommy Green.
Eric Davis digs in. He's hitting at .242. He's been a lot tougher on the Phillies than he has been on the league overall. He's hitting .353 off Phil's pitching. Eric seems to have found new life here lately. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that this is a contract year for Eric.
Lots of players have that happen.
He had an unbelievable night in the field here on Monday night. Challenged by any number of balls hit to him, and he made every one. Dykstra getting in the right spot, and then he catches it for out number 2.
They're talking about contract years. I believe it was Tommy Lasorda's a couple of years ago said, give me 9 guys that are in their option year, and I will have a pretty good ball club because they're all going to be playing hard.
Right. Tommy, by the way, was just extended for another year by the Dodgers. Got his extension last week, so those who were thinking that he might be retiring are in error. Here's Henry Rodriguez batting at .205. A rare start for Rodriguez, only his 7th game in the starting lineup this year. He swung. That's strike 1 on Rodriguez. Last night the Dodgers played a youngster that they had just brought up, Raul Mondesi. He's a right-handed batter. I know they want to take a full look at him because they think that Mondesi has all the tools. Rodriguez gets it through. Kruk didn't react very well to that ball. I'm not sure he could have gotten it anyway, but it's a single for Rodriguez, the Dodgers' 2nd hit.
Tommy with a good fastball right in on Rodriguez's hands. See right here, this ball jams him severely, breaks the bat. Kruk, first of all, I think thought that the ball was hit a little harder than that and was heading for the bag, and then by the time he tried to retrace his steps and get to it, it was through into right field. As you said, I don't think Kruk had a chance to get that even if he had broken right away, but he would have got a little closer than he did.
He's swatting him away too. Here's Jody Reed batting .283, a pair of homers, 23 runs batted in for the Dodgers' 2nd baseman. He had ligament damage to an elbow when Andres Galarraga slid into him on a takeout slide, which the Dodgers feel was intentional. That is to say that he was hit intentionally. And there seems to be some hard feelings now between the Rockies and the Dodgers over that particular incident.
Galarraga going into 2nd base hard. His foot came up and kicked Reed right in the elbow. It's got to hurt. Didn't catch him with the spikes and cut him, but he kicked him with the shoe right in the elbow. Elbows were not made for that.
Called strike.
Nice pitch. Tell you what, Tommy has done a nice job, especially this inning, of being on that outside corner. Seems to be, when he wants to go to that outside corner, he's able to get there and get there efficiently. And it's down in the strike zone. So hard, down, and away is a good combination for T. Green.
A little inside, maybe a little high. 2 balls, 1 strike on Reed. Tommy wants to get him to end the inning and then make the next one easier by starting with the pitcher, but in this case, pitcher has the highest batting average in the Dodger lineup.
Yeah, Earl Hershiser hitting .350 for the season. You look down the line, he's the leading hitter in the lineup tonight. But still rather take my chances with a .350 hitting pitcher.
Yeah, he's a singles hitter. That's one thing about him. 2-2.
If Tommy keeps making pitches like that, we don't have to worry about Mr. Hershiser until next inning. Another one of those good fastballs down and away.
Your TV set is as clear as ours is here in the booth. You can see those bugs swirling around out there.
Do not adjust your set.
No. There goes the runner. The pitch is in. No throw by Dalton. Dalton didn't find anybody covering. Morandini hadn't gotten to the bag. Dalton was ready to throw, but nobody was there, so it's a stolen base for Rodriguez, his first of the year.
Little communication problem, I believe, between Duncan and Morandini at second base as far as who's going to clever. Rodriguez off with the pitch. We see him coming in. Morandini not even to the bag yet. You can tell right there, probably Mickey's fault because you can see his head's down already. He knows that he made a mistake. Good play by Dalton to be able to hold on to that ball. You know, once you start that arm forward, hard to grab onto it and hold it back.
It's a full count on Reed. Struck him out. Tommy's second strikeout. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit, 1 left after 2-0.
Couple nights.
Tim Wallach in your picture there. He has a broken rib and is on the disabled list for the first time in his career. Here's Lenny. Got himself a looping single to shallow right center field first time up. Ball was in the air long enough to have been caught, but wasn't caught. So Lenny has his average up to 298 now. There's Wallach. Remember one night in Philadelphia, he hurt an ankle at third base. He was playing with Montreal. It looked for all the world like he was going to have to be DL then. And a miraculous recovery, and only missed a day or two. Is right back in the lineup. So as we say, this is the first time that Wallach has ever been disabled. Well, now Hershiser has started this inning by missing on 6 straight pitches, and that's not Oral Hershiser.
That is not normal Hershiser, but that has been normal Dodgers this series. They have been walking a lot of Philly hitters, and Tommy Lasorda has just been going crazy over that. It's been driving him nuts, and Ron Peranowski the same. Their pitchers have not been challenging the Philly hitters, have been nibbling, and have been missing consistently.
Strike. Lenny was going to take him until Oral Hershiser got one over the plate. Lenny hit a home run last night, his 12th, and that's a career high for him. He had 3 straight hits and drove in 3 runs last night. Outside ball 3, 3-1 on Dykstra. See when Hershiser snapped at the ball as it was tossed back there. He is really unhappy with himself right now. And they're not too pleased either.
We have seen this before.
Ball 4. Hershiser walks the first 2, and Perry's coming out of the dugout. He wants to find out what's going on here. Lenny gets his 76th walk. He's right up there near the top of the league in that. And what is going on here, Teak?
Well, Hershiser, as we mentioned, doesn't have the overpowering stuff that he had before to challenge guys, especially when he's behind in the count. He has to continue to pitch. But when you're in that situation, the most important thing is don't get behind in the count. Get one of those early pitches over and get the count in your favor. Hershiser knows that. He's just not been able to do it so far this inning.
To his credit, he can get in trouble. It doesn't rattle him like it does a young pitcher, and he can come back and get a hitter like he did with Duncan in the first after Dykstra got that hit that should have been caught. Then he came back and struck out Duncan. In fact, he had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Right here, 2 on, nobody out, scoreless game. Mariano wants to bunt him along, takes a strike. Not a bad idea with Kruk and Hollins coming. Duncan has laid down a sacrifice twice this year. The Dodgers number 2 hitter, Ackerman, is often called on to sacrifice. He has a dozen. Bunt's not on. Fouled away. And now the bunt won't be on. It's 0-2.
Dodgers in a little bit of a strange alignment in the outfield. Brett Butler playing Duncan over toward right center, Rodriguez over toward the line, and Eric Davis in left field almost playing a straightaway left field. So there's a large gap in left center field. Duncan get one of those pitches up the gap, he can score both Tommy Green and Dykstra.
They probably feel that Duncan is more likely to hit behind the runners to try to move him. And there it is. That's exactly what he did. They're going to hold the runner at third, Green, the pitcher, and the bases are loaded on a single by Duncan and loaded with nobody out.
So Mariano comes through with a base hit to right field. Larry Boa holding Tommy Green at third base all the way with nobody out and the potential of a really big inning. You do not want to take a chance of letting Rodriguez throw Green out at the plate. Hershiser with the fastball tails back and catches just a little bit of the plate. You see Lenny had to jump and get out of weight, jump over the ball and let it go through to right field. So he probably wouldn't have got the third base even if Tommy had tried to score. So now the Phillies with the bases loaded, nobody out, and right in the middle of that lineup, right where you want to be, John Kruk at the plate.
John drew a walk first time around. He won't be looking for a walk here. He'll be looking for something to drive. Kruk 3 out of 4 off Hershiser this year. Fouled away. Kruk in his career 321 off Oral Hershiser. 9 hits, I should say, and 28 at-bats. Speaking of homers, he has never homered off Hershiser.
Well, I mentioned in the opening that Jim Fregosi wants to get his ball club back into that feeling that they had early in the season, and this is the type of an inning that they capitalized on early. Get a couple breaks, couple walks from the opposition, base hit, and then all of a sudden come up with one of those big blasts to get 2 or 3 runs in a hurry.
Like most pitchers, Hershiser will take some extra time when he's in trouble, and he's in plenty of that. Comes with a breaking ball and misses. 1-1.
Dodgers playing back in the infield all the way around. Corey Snyder even at third base back behind the bag. Middle infielders all the way back. Karros back at first base. They're conceding the run.
Yep, they're
trying to cut the damages here.
Right, they'd love to trade a double play for a run. Round, they may have it. There's one, and there it is. The Phillies lead 1-0 as Green scores, but the Dodgers will take that trade. John Kruk rounding into a double play.
Number 15.
The Phillies get a run. Kruk rounded into a double play in a similar situation Sunday in San Diego and a run scored. 1-0 Phillies. Holland's the batter now. Holland struck out first time around. Holland's at 274. That's a strike.
Hershiser with an opportunity now after getting himself into all kinds of trouble. An opportunity to really get out of this with minimal damage.
Yeah, 1 run would be minimal damage.
That would be a moral victory right now if you can get out of this inning and only give up 1 run. Of course, Phillies would like to get another clutch hit right here with 2 outs and pick up that second run.
1-1. That's Dykstra at third. He would especially like to score. He's the major league leader in runs scored, 88 at this moment. Foul back out of play. 1-2 the count. Money at third. Dykstra scored once last night on his home run, and that's the only run he has scored in this series. Phillies. We're in the third. Final meeting of the year between the Phillies and the Dodgers. Time call. It looks as though Darryl Strawberry is through for the year. He's got a bad back. He's not anxious to rush it again. He feels as though he tried too hard to come back and play early and just was a shadow of himself. Of that, there was no doubt. Hollins pokes at a pitch outside, but hits it down to Corey Snyder. It was a line drive caught by Snyder to end the inning. Phillies get a run. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. Phillies lead 1-0.
The future of sports television is about to dramatically change. A revolution is going to take place, and a new voice will be heard. That new voice is News Sport, an alternative 24-hour sports news and information service. News Sport delivers more than just scores and highlights. News Sport takes you to the games. It goes behind the scenes and gives you the chance to speak out. News Sport, your alternative source, is coming this fall to cable TV.
Let's say you want a well-equipped 6-passenger car for under $13,000. Look into Dodge Spirit. With the right package, you can get one with options like air conditioning, speed control, and more. And right now, you'll get it all with at least $1,000 cash back, making it the lowest priced 6-passenger car you can buy for only $12,625. Meaning whether you buy, lease, or just want to look, Spirit is a logical choice. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Busch Beer. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how to enjoy the game. So always reach for smooth Busch Beer or easy drinking Busch Light. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, a participating advertiser in Phillies baseball. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by your local Dodge dealers, come in today because we know how to help. Andy Busser with Kent DeColby here at Dodger Stadium. Phillies lead it 1-0. They really could have gotten a whole lot more out of that inning. But they'll take the 1-0 start and see where it leads them. And Oral Hershiser leads it off for L.A. Talking about the fact that Hershiser has been a good hitter this year. He and Doc Gooden lead the National League in hits. They each have 14. Oral batting .350. He has a couple of doubles. 3 runs batted in. He is actually 10 for his last 24. That figures out to a .417 batting average over that span.
Well, we mentioned Hershiser last inning had an opportunity for one of those 2-out innings by getting Tommy Green out to start it. Was not able to capitalize on that. Got himself into a bunch of trouble. We'll see how Tommy handles the same situation in the bottom of the third.
Well, look out. Back goes after Joey Amalfitano. Nice going, Joey. That's a pretty good dance Joey was doing there. One of Joey's good friends is here at the ball game tonight, Jerry Vale. We had let's watch Joey dancing, and this is worth a replay. Attaboy.
That's a veteran move.
Jerry could put a little music to that, I'll bet you. Here's a bunt try. Gonna be a beauty. Save! Oral Hershiser with a bunt single.
Hershiser with 2 strikes on him. It looked terrible on the first 2 pitches. Had no chance at all to hit Tommy Green. Gets the bunt down. Almost ball hits the bat. Hershiser throws it out in the infield. Almost the ball hit the bat. If that had happened, Hershiser would have been out, but it didn't. The ball eluded the bat, got to Tommy Green, and Hershiser hustling down the line with a base hit to lead off the bottom of the third for the Dodgers.
Now he's trying to remember what the signs are. See? Glaring over there at Joey Amalfitano.
Wait a second, Bulldog. You got a bunt down. Now, don't start thinking about trying to steal bases and stuff.
What's that steal sign again? Here's Butler. Butler's the guy that should be bunting. Butler flied out to right first at bat. He is bunting. And that's a beauty. Got him. Butler is out. See if they give him a sacrifice. With nobody out, they probably will. But you and I know, and so does the whole world, he was bunting for a hit.
Well, that was one of those multi-purpose bunts. Worst case scenario, you're going to get Butler or get Hershiser to second base, but Butler with a very good bunt. Hollins with a good play just to get Butler at first base.
It is scored a sacrifice, which of course saves him a time at bat. Oral down at second. One out in the inning. Phillies ahead 1-0. Offerman the hitter, and he got a base hit his first time up. Offerman at 277. Fouled away, strike one. 1-0 Phillies with the run scored by the Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. And Dodgers' best chance to score here is if they can get Hershiser around. Freddie McGriff has hit 2 home runs for the Atlanta Braves tonight. That's 3 in a Braves uniform for the ex-Padre. Braves lead the Cards 10-2, bottom of the 8th. And I think the Cardinals have run up the flag. Rod Brewer is pitching for St. Louis.
Now pitching for the Cardinals.
Wow. Hope he has better luck than Jose Canseco. Huh?
Can't have any worse luck.
That's true. Ball and 2 strikes on Offerman. Canseco, that injury to Canseco could be career-threatening. Hurt his elbow.
Season ending for sure, career-threatening possibly.
Speaking of pitchers' injuries, how about Nolie Ryan coming back to win a ball game? That was great, wasn't it?
Not only that, the last pitch that he threw in that ball game, 96 mile an hour. Wow. He's something else.
He hasn't conceded anything, has he? Just keeps riding that bike, pumping that iron. Jammed in, but it's a looper. Base hit. Hershiser being sent. Here comes the play. He goes back. Hershiser in a rundown. And he is tagged out. Play to third base. Safe. Phillies prevented the run. Joey Amalfitano waved Hershiser, and Orel decided to retreat.
Lenny charges this ball hard, throws it all the way to the plate on the fly, gets the ball to Dalton in good shape. Hershiser had already put on the brakes. He realized halfway down the line he wasn't going to make it. Dalton flips the ball to Hollins. Now watch this. Hershiser does the job of staying in the rundown long enough to get Offerman to third base, but normally you will not see the catcher. Watch Dutch after he makes the throw to Hollins, follows his throw, and he's going back to cover third base. Now there's nobody covering until Dutch gets there. Almost gets Offerman at third base. Good ad-lib play by the Phillies and good heads-up play by Dalton, even though it did not result in an out. It's a good alert play, knowing where you're at on the field and what you're doing.
It sure was. Here's Corey Snyder. He taps a foul, strike one. So there are 2 outs in the inning. Hershiser has to be winded from that one. And at some point, either now or later, or maybe much later, Hershiser and Joey Amalfitano will talk it over.
There will be a discussion. I think Amalfitano's stance is going to be, once I send you, go. If you're out, it's my fault.
Fly ball down the right field line. Eisenreich should be there. And he is, and the Phillies are out of trouble despite 2 hits. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. And it's 1-0 Phillies.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
It was Memorial Day. I'm barbecuing for 30. I got the best chicken, I got the best steaks, I got the cheap charcoal, and I got burned.
Fire's out.
Totally.
When do we eat?
Sorry.
Still out.
So don't get burned by cheap charcoal. Buy the best.
Kingsford charcoal. Lights faster, cooks longer. Kingsford, the surefire.
The Phillies try to feast on the East when they shuffle the cards Tuesday, July 27th and Wednesday, July 28th at 7:35. And Thursday, July 29th, 12:35 for a business person special. Then the Pirates walk the plank Friday, July 30th at 7:35. Saturday, July 31st at 7:05. And Nostalgia Day Sunday, August 1st at 1:35 when everyone gets a free poster. Call 463-1000.
The ALS Autograph and Auction Party this year is Monday, August 2nd, 6 o'clock at Veterans Stadium. You have to get your tickets in advance. No tickets will be sold the night of the event. So order them soon by calling 463-1000 or purchase them the next time you're at Veterans Stadium. We're going to have a lot of fun that night. The usual events, the auctions, the silent auction. We're going to have an Every Roll's a Winner game. And, of course, the Fanatic will be there to entertain. And TKnight and everybody else will be there that night.
We'll all be there.
You betcha. August 2nd. Well, we go to the fourth inning now, and Dalton leads it off for the Phillies. Dalton wound up making a tag play at third base. Teak, did that play go the way it should have?
Well, it's one of those plays in baseball that is not, you don't play it the way it's drawn up on the board, because normally on a rundown play, third baseman and shortstop have the responsibility for the third base bag. It's a foul ball down the right side. And the catcher and the pitcher have responsibility for home plate, and that's how the rundown is run. But because of the fact that the ball was looped into short center field, Duncan had gone out on the play, was not available to come over and be the second man at the third base bag. So when those things happen, you just ad lib, and that's why Dalton ended up swinging around Hollins and covering the bag at third. Those are plays you don't practice in spring training. You just have to kind of make them up as you go during the ball game.
A real heads-up veteran play for a guy like Dalton. 1-2 the count on Darren as a batter. He lined out to right field first time up. He hit the ball hard. Two and two. Dalton, Eisenreich, and Thompson to bat in the fourth for the Phillies. Hershiser has only 2 wins in his last 10 starts. It missed. 3-2.
As you mentioned, Hershiser was long inning on the bases last inning. Bunted for a base hit, sacrificed to second, tried to score and then held up and got caught in the rundown. So see what kind of an effect it has on Hershiser this inning as he walks Dalton to lead off the inning.
Walks are hurting him. That's his fourth. As we watch Dalton go to first, let's watch again this last
Now
play.
here's the rundown. You see Dalton moving toward third base, but you can see way up in the top of the screen, Duncan just coming back from center field after trying to shag down that looping fly ball by Offerman. He can't get the third base in time, so Dalton just alertly goes past Hershiser once he makes the throw, says there's nobody here, I'll cover up the base.
The batter is Eisenreich, who takes a strike. Jim struck out first time up there. 1-0 Phillies in the fourth.
That's why you cannot play this game like it's a computer. You can't just put everybody and have them go to the same places all the time. Players have to think where they're out on the field, know what you're trying to accomplish defensively, and then adjust accordingly. And that was just a great adjustment by the Phillies on that play.
Probably the reason that the runner Offerman went to third base was because he saw that it was uncovered. It was a single for Offerman, and he took 2 bases on the throw.
The other adjustment that we didn't mention that was made on that play is when Dalton started around toward third base, Kruk, who was the cutoff man out in the middle of the infield, retreated to home plate. He had nothing else to cover on the right side of the infield, so he retreated to be the second man at home plate with Tommy Green.
Uh-oh, ball bounces away. Down to second base goes Dalton, and it's rolling quite a distance. Dalton is tempted. He goes a third of the way toward third, but he'll stay at second. Wild pitch. That'll be the second wild pitch for Hershiser tonight.
Again, that breaking ball, Piazza doesn't do a very good job this time. He should have been able to get in front of that ball. More reach for that ball and had it kick off his glove and kick back behind him. That's a long run in Dodger Stadium. A lot of acreage back there, and when you're a catcher, you want to catch all the balls anyway, but in Dodger Stadium you want to catch them particularly, because if you don't, you got a long haul to go retrieve it. All that area in foul territory.
2-2 on Eisenreich. Phillies have a chance to manufacture a run here with a walk and a wild pitch. Nobody out. Braves beat the Cards 14-2 tonight. It's a base hit. Dalton to third, and they'll hold him there on Eisenreich's single. First and third, nobody out. So another inning in the making here.
Number 25.
See Piazza on the inside part of the plate. Hershiser with that sinker up in the strike zone. A ball Karros probably should have caught. He got to it, just was not able to get leather on it. Again, defensively now, Hershiser having some problems. That ball would have moved Dalton to third base, but they would have been an out at first base. But now instead, first and third and nobody out, and Hershiser in trouble again.
Here's Milt Thompson, milled out on a ground ball first time up to second. By the way, that single for Eisenreich makes him 6 for 12 in this series. High ball one on Milt.
As was the case last inning, Dodgers playing the infield back again. Will again concede a run, try to get a double play.
And they did in the third inning when they had the bases loaded, nobody out. Phillies did, and a run scored on that double play, but the Dodgers were happy to trade it. 1-1. He is an intense competitor, no doubt about that. Oh, back through the middle, base hit. Phillies lead 2-0 on a sharply struck single by Thompson. Dalton with the second run. And almost got a pitcher.
Number 12, Mickey Morandini.
Tommy Lasorda looking on as you see, and again the fastball from Hershiser. Ooh. That sinker that is not down, it tails back into the middle of the plate, and that was just right down the middle, and Milt sent it back where it came from.
Probably makes you cringe when you see something like that, doesn't it?
I used to close my eyes. Oh. Close your eyes and duck. It's the best defense. You're not going to catch it. It's only going to catch you.
Morandini. Mickey has flied to center, 0 for 1. Phillies have first and second, nobody out.
Hershiser in trouble for the second inning in a row. No action yet in the Dodger bullpen, although this keeps up much longer. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tommy Lasorda get his bullpen started.
Looks like they are going to. Somebody stirring around down there.
Yeah, movement, but no action yet. Well, while they're debating it, let's get a couple more runs on the board.
1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play. It's 1-2 on Morandini. Mickey finally has been able to get a little rest lately, but he had 26 straight starts prior to Sunday when Mariano Duncan came off the DL. Not only straight starts, but he was playing every inning of every game because the Phillies didn't really have anybody else to play second. Kim Batiste was the backup second baseman, but he hasn't played second base all year. Jim Fregosi managed a team, of course, here in California at one point, manager of the Angels, and the whole hunk of his career was with the California Angels. His right-hand man, John Vukovich.
Where he and Lee Thomas first came together many, many years ago. Members of that California Angel Ball Club.
Morandini gets it to Karros. He wheels and goes to Offerman. Hershiser late. Eisenreich to third base on the play.
See Karros with a good, strong, accurate throw to Offerman. Hershiser does a nice job of getting to first base, but Morandini able to beat the return throw from Offerman. Hershiser was there. Had the ball been there ahead of Morandini, the Dodgers would have turned a very nifty 3-6-1 double play, probably the most difficult double play in baseball, but Morandini hustling all the way, able to beat it out.
Up to Tommy Green with runners at the corners and 1 out now. Tommy has walked and scored the first run of the night. Phillies are ahead 2-0. Dodger infield looks for a double play. Greeny sends a fly ball, shallow right, not going to get the run home. Caught by Rodriguez, and Eisenreich has to stay where he is. Out number 2.
Center fielder, Lenny Dykstra.
Lenny Dykstra comes to the plate. Lenny with 3 RBIs last night. Tonight he has singled and walked. Two runs on 4 hits for the Phillies. No runs, 4 hits for LA. That game at Candlestick tomorrow. Terry Mulholland for the Phillies. He's already up in San Francisco, as is John Burkett. Burkett's been struggling a little bit. He lost his last start prior to the All-Star game. Did not pitch well in the All-Star game and lost his first start since. But he is an outstanding 13-4 for the year. Lenny hitting .298.
Well, the Phillies very familiar with how some of those bad streaks can follow the good ones, so I'd like to take an opportunity to go up there and just prolong Mr. Burkett's agony just a little bit longer.
Phillies played a 2-game series in San Francisco earlier in the year. They split that one. And the final game was the last game of that long road trip. Remember that? And you and I did that one on Sports Channel, and that was at that point probably the only game to that point in the season that the Phillies hadn't played good baseball.
That was really the first game of the year where they had not executed the way they felt that they could all along. And at that point in time, very easy to accept, hey, we're going to have one of those every once in a while.
You know what happened when the Giants came into Philadelphia? It was hot. It was a 4-game series. They came out with such smoking bats and put such a licking on the Phillies in the first game of the series that the domino effect from the bullpen carried throughout that whole series. It gets away and another run scores. 3-0 Phillies as Eisenreich scores, and here goes Morandini all the way to third base. And down to second goes Dykstra.
I'll tell you what, 3 balls and no strikes. That's as far as I think I've ever seen anybody miss home plate. Hershiser throws the ball way wide, way high. Looked like some kind of a changeup or something he's trying to throw on 3-0. Goes back, hits off of that post, and now caroms over across toward the Philly dugout. Piazza, as we mentioned, a lot of room back there. Ran about a 440 trying to chase the ball down. You see here he starts to his right. Now he's got to head back to his left and chase it down. By the time he can, Dykstra ends up at second base, and Morandini all the way over at third. Tommy, you thought you'd seen it all, but seeing some strange stuff here this evening.
Mariano Duncan is now at the plate for the Phillies. Runners at second and third and 2 outs.
And remember, all this, the inning after Hershiser did all that running on the bases.
Yeah, that's
now, he
true.
wasn't real sharp to start with, but now, after doing all that running on top of it, missing by a pretty good margin. His control is not anywhere near, what we're used to seeing from Orel Hershiser, and even a little worse than it was early in the game.
5 walks for him, and Duncan singles to center, one's across. Here's the play to the plate, cut off. Phillies get 2 more, 5-0 Phillies, and tagged out is Duncan, but that's okay. The Phillies have a good inning here and score 4 here in the 4th. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 4 runs, 3 hits, and nobody left on base. 5-0.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents...
We're back!
Now it can be heard, the sounds of baseball. This is the baseball video that puts you on the field to hear the game as never before.
They say we go take the lead right here. Take the lead. First inning.
You're going to put him in jail?
I'm not going to put him in jail.
Straighten the batter back.
You never making it up? You know I ain't taking him.
Host Tommy Lasorda takes you behind the closed doors to reveal the secret strategy in team meetings and some Major League Clubhouse practical jokes. Plus, candid moments with today's superstars. Now it can be heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to order?
Yeah!
Well, to order, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
All fans receive a great-looking poster, compliments of Thriftway. The teams wear uniforms from 1933. The Phillies play the Pirates on Nostalgia Day, Sunday, August 1st at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Kids, this is for you. A dream come true. Once again, Milk Duds, Candies, and the Phillies are teaming up to offer kids 6 to 16 a chance to be a celebrity bat boy or bat girl and win 4 box seat tickets to a game. Pick up an entry form at the advanced ticket windows, the fan accommodations room behind section 224, or look in your Phillies souvenir program. Hurry, this offer is limited. Still doing a little bookkeeping on last inning here, trying to catch up with all that activity. There was a flurry.
Isn't that the truth? Lots and lots of activity as the Phillies had a 4-run non-conventional type of inning. And they lead it 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Karros leads it off for the Dodgers. He got an assist on that last play where Duncan was tagged out at second base. Karros 0 for 1 as a hitter. He flied to left.
I'm just talking between innings. Burrow Hershiser, 3 wild pitches already in this ball game.
5 walks and 3 wild pitches. It's amazing. No balls and 2 strikes on Karros. He hasn't been hitting much. He's just 5 for the last 39. That's only over 130. And Orel's wondering how he can recover in this one. Fly ball to right. Eisenreich is right there. Out. 1 down in the 4th. And now Mike Piazza. Are they actually booing Karros? You know, Dodger fans traditionally don't boo anybody, but we're just giving the numbers on Karros. He hasn't hit much lately, but sounds like they're getting on him.
I think they're starting a new tradition at Dodger Stadium. We will boo the home team.
Or did I miss a confiscated beach ball somewhere? That's usually what they boo here.
That's true, too.
Piazza. Mike struck out first time around.
We mentioned that first at bat, Tommy Green just made some tremendous pitches on Piazza, both inside and outside. Just stayed right on the black. And again, this at bat starts him out with one of those good fastballs down and away.
Piazza has kind of picked on the Phillies this year. He has 4 of his home runs off Phil's pitching this year. Against the Phillies, he is batting an even .400, or was coming into the ball game, with 16 hits. Offerman has the most hits against the Phillies this year. He has 18. 1-2.
For the second time this evening, Piazza's hitting in the situation you want him to hit in. Nobody on base.
That's true. If you make a mistake, it doesn't cost you that much.
He is definitely, at this point in the season, the way everything has gone for the Dodgers, the most dangerous hitter in this Dodger lineup.
Struck him out a second time. He had Piazza chasing another one, and Tommy Green gets his 3rd strikeout. Twice Piazza's been the victim.
Oh, we saw the straight fastball early in the count. Here's a little bit of a cut fastball. Piazza looking for the fastball in the outside corner. Tommy starts it there and just cuts it and has it sail about 6 inches outside. Piazza reaches and again for the second time goes down swinging at that ball down and away from him.
Eric Davis flied out to center field in his only at bat tonight. Davis facing Tommy Green is 1 for 6 this year. And only 3 for 18 lifetime, but he does have 1 home run. That's a strike, 1-1. So the Phillies have a chance to gain ground tonight and get that lead back up to 5 games over the Cardinals, who lost in Atlanta for the second night in a row. By the way, that fire they had down there last night, we understand that all of the damage that was done to those luxury boxes is expected to be repaired before the Phillies arrive. And as you made the point, Teak, there was a note on our sheet tonight that all the Phillies games in Atlanta are sold out, so they better get those seats.
They better get those seats repaired, because there's 2,000 of them that aren't in use right now. Have to refund that money.
According to the way we saw it, that came very close to the Atlanta Braves radio booth.
Yeah, just looked like a couple boxes down from the Atlanta Braves booth. It was moving in that direction.
But they were moving in the other direction.
I'll tell you what, that was, from what I saw on TV today, that was a pretty good fire. That was no little trash can fire.
Strike 3 called, and for the first time the Dodgers go in order. At the end of 4 innings, it's 5-0 Phillies.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth Bush beer, is a drinking Bush Light.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon. High close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine New Jersey Belle Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Fifth inning at Dodger Stadium. John Kruk leads it off. It is 5-0 Phillies. Hershiser gets it over for a strike. Kruk has walked and grounded into a double play. On his double play grounder, a run scored. John at 346. Fly ball, plenty of hang time. This one ought to be caught. Davis and 1 out.
Just in case you're keeping score at home, ground ball, double play, run scores, no RBI. Just for those aficionados who stay up late at night with us, just to make sure that they can have that scorecard as precise as ours are.
Hopefully,
or hopefully better.
A lot better. Here is Dave Hollins. He is struck out and lined to third. The Hall of Fame has not called and asked for my scorecard.
I wonder if our fans at home keep this little bottle of white out with them like we do here.
Little liquid paper. We go through a few bottles of that, don't we?
Make those corrections.
I send Teak a bottle for Christmas, and it's a bottle of liquid paper, is what it is.
Next year, send a bigger bottle. We need a larger size.
How about a case? Huh?
Really?
Well, sometimes they change score. How about that play here the other night? The Dodgers had a rundown play, and they changed it about 3 different times. I mean, unless you're going to score with a very dull pencil, well, there's no way to keep up with that. 3 balls and no strikes on Hollins. But my greatest scorecard story is Phil Rizzuto being out of the booth. Came back in the booth and asked Bill White to give him a little update, and he was reading it off. And one of the notes that White had on there was "wasn't looking," and Phil said, "What's that mean?" And White says, or WL, he said, "Wasn't looking." Fouled back out of play. So Hollins has a 3-2 count on him here. We got somebody very creative up above here, is taking these Dodger napkins and curling the corners, making little airplanes out of them. They're floating down here.
Like parachutes.
Yeah.
Here comes another one.
3-2 pitch. Hollins got a piece of it. He's still alive.
So everybody's got all the fans have different ways to show when they're bored. I've been convinced for years that whenever the wave starts in a stadium, that means that the fans are bored. Well, Dodger Stadium's a little more upscale than that, so now they have people that make parachutes out of napkins, and that means that they're bored. The game's not going the way they would like it to go.
This does not, however, mean that they are above doing the wave. I think we'll see one or two of them before the night's over.
No, I hope not.
You know what I like is when the wave is going on and a foul ball comes right back into the middle of it. You know? It's amazing how often that stops them. Ground ball, Reed flags it. Nice play by Reed. That was an outstanding play by Jody. Collins robbed.
Darren Dolman.
Dodgers' second base situation been very unsettled the last couple years. They acquired Jody Reed just for this reason. Stability at second base. He makes a nice play, gets the ball over to Karros at first base. Not only has he added to the Dodger offense with his bat, but that good steady play at second base that the Dodgers just haven't had the last couple seasons.
Darren Dalton has lined to right and walked, scoring 1 run. We just ran into a famous. That's what we were looking at.
There we go.
Isn't that beautiful? Now watch the hang time on that baby.
Yeah, the thermals in here. We're actually taking it up. Parachutes that go up.
We just ran into a famous Mets announcer here tonight, checking out the ball game. He was down in San Diego where the Mets played today and won. They beat the Padres, and the Mets open a series here tomorrow. That famous Mets announcer we're referring to is Todd Callis, son of Harry the K. We did give him a little heat about wearing his Mets shirt.
Yeah, I thought that was a little tacky to come into our booth wearing a Mets shirt, but
just missed. Darren Dalton receives his second straight walk, and that is the 6th free pass issued by Hershiser.
Right fielder.
Has he become a nibbler, Teak?
well, I think tonight he just plain doesn't have much. I don't think he's nibbling to the extent that he's walking guys. I think he cannot throw the ball where he wants to. Knows that he cannot challenge Philly hitters in the middle of the plate, and being the veteran that he is just going to try to keep working on trying to get ahead in the count, trying to stay on the corners, change speeds. And we noticed earlier a couple strikeouts that he got out of the strike zone once he was able to get ahead of the Philly hitters. But Hershiser is smart enough to know that he just doesn't have dominant stuff anymore, and he's going to have to pitch this way. Some nights, like tonight, it's just going to be very difficult for him.
And down 5-0, he's going to have to count on some offense from his team. They have not provided him with all that much. The run support for Hershiser from the Dodgers this year is 3.9. So should that be the case tonight, this one's over.
He's looking for a team that's going to go out of the strike zone and start swinging at bad balls. He's got the wrong ball club, because all year long the Phillies have been very good at being patient and getting pitches in the strike zone to hit.
And Eisenreich with another hit. Eisenreich 2 out of 3 tonight. And for the series, he is 7 for 13.
Left fielder, Bill Thompson.
As we mentioned, the Phillies all year long have been doing a nice job offensively because they make you throw balls in the good part of the strike zone before you hit them. Dalton takes the pitches that are off the plate, gets the walk. Eisenreich gets a pitch in the middle. He's ready and lines it hard between first and second into right field.
Milt Thompson 1 for 2. It was an RBI single in the 4th. Little inside. One and 0 on Thompson. Milt's average at .248 following his base hit. All this starting with 2 outs. Hershiser got the first 2 batters. Swung through that pitch. 1-1. Milt's got something in his eye, looks like.
Well, it wouldn't have been any dust off the baseball that time, because Milt's head was all the way gone and turned before the ball ever got to home plate. Hershiser fooled him with that pitch.
Another one of those bugs. Called strike. 1-2. Called strike 3. When the inning is over, Thompson does not like the call. Strikeout number 4 for Hershiser. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Phillies lead 5-0.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents baseball's funniest bloopers. Hey fans, you'll be bowled over by this highly revealing romp. Then we'll sprinkle in some bite-sized fun, just enough to tickle your funny bone. Now, if you want to sink your teeth into baseball's funniest bloopers, just call this number and order. Baseball's funniest bloopers is 35 minutes of laughter and a whole lot of Major League mess-ups. So pick one up today. If you're a rookie squirt, ask for help. Ouch! If you're a Major League squirt, grab a pen and paper. Any paper. To order for just $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls apart like that?
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Newtown Square is Dave Young. By Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. And by Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. It's the bottom of the 5th. Looks like the Dodgers are going to hit for Hershiser here. Phillies lead 5-0. They've got Omar Dahl up in the bullpen, and Hershiser is due to be the 3rd batter of the inning. When you look down there and you see a left-hander, you don't have any trouble figuring out who it is. They only have one.
They've only got one.
Rodriguez. Henry got a hit his first time up. Tommy Green has not walked a batter tonight. Hershiser has walked 6. What a difference. Woo. Rodriguez, Reed, and apparently a pinch hitter. No balls and 2 strikes on Rodriguez. One and 2. Rodriguez doesn't get a chance to play that much. He's primarily a pinch hitter and a pretty good one.
Well, one of the problems Rodriguez has is that when he came through the minor league system, the majority of the time he was a first baseman. Obviously, with Karros down there, he's not going to get any playing time at first base, so has made the switch to the outfield. But, you know, until the injury to Darryl Strawberry, there really wasn't much room out there either. So Corey Snyder had been filling in for Strawberry, but now that he has to move over and play third base for Wallach after about the 3rd injury, Rodriguez gets a chance to play and delivers a base hit up the middle.
That makes him 2 for 2 in the ball game. Hit number 5 for the Dodgers.
Number 3.
And Jody Reed comes to the plate. Jody was a strikeout victim in his first trip. Looks like Lenny Harris coming out of the Dodger dugout now to bat for Hershiser. Lenny Harris, there he is. A little bit high, ball 1. Jody Reed struck out back in the 2nd inning. Fouled away. This is not the first time in the game the Dodgers have had their leadoff man on. Harris will return the bat to Reed.
Got bats flying at everybody over there. Joey Malfitano ducks one. Lenny Harris in the on-deck circle almost gets picked off by one. Tommy Green has these Dodger hitters off balance and losing the grip on their bats.
Happy birthday to Ken Summers of Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. Ken celebrating his 82nd. Fouled away. Also birthday greetings on their way to Dr. Anthony Rapone of Carneys Point, New Jersey. He is 86. Tommy with a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Reed. Last inning was the first inning where Green had been able to put the Dodgers down in order. Blocked by Dalton, but it gets away, and Rodriguez goes to second. Well, Hershiser has 3 wild pitches tonight. That's number 1 for Green.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Dutch gets over in front of it. Had it pretty much squared up, but as it short hopped off the heel of his glove and bounced away. Catcher can get in position to block those balls, but if it catches one of those edges on the catcher's mitt, there's really not a whole lot he can do about it. You just, percentage-wise, says if you get in front of it, the ball will stay there. Every once in a while, one of those is going to hop away.
2-2. Fouled out right into the wave. Atta boy. Right
Stop
back
that wave.
into it. It was just starting, and that ball went right in there.
And as you mentioned, it's done.
It's done. That's it. Next time around, maybe.
Surf's not up anymore.
My congratulations to Jody Reed.
Yes. The game of baseball appreciates your efforts.
Jody strikes out. Tommy gets strikeout number 5. I was just about to say, I hope Jody doesn't hit one to where they're doing the wave now, because they started in the left center field pavilion. That would have been bad.
No, we don't want to be out there. Again, Tommy Green with that good sharp breaking ball off the plate gets Reed to extend himself, swinging the ball out of the strike zone. Racks up strikeout number 5.
The pinch hitter Lenny Harris now bats for Hershiser, who oddly enough had actually done a better job as a hitter than he had as a pitcher. He was 1 for 1 with the bat, a bunt single, but he will not bat here. Harris 241 hits the ball down the left field line. Tough play. Thompson, he's there in foul ground to make a running catch. Thompson did his imitation of Eric Davis on that play.
Milt going a long way into foul territory to come up with this ball. Does a nice job of getting there, and a good job by the Phillies scouting. Having Harris defended, Milt playing well over toward the left field line, not playing him straight away at all in left field as you normally would on a left-handed hitter. Thompson able to get there and just in foul territory make the catch and retire Harris.
Butler, he's 0 for 1 officially. He sacrificed last time up. Looked like he was bunting for a hit, which I'm sure he was, but he moved the run along with nobody out, so they gave him a sacrifice. Butler hitting .303.
As you mentioned, Butler will bunt any time, so even with 2 outs and a man in scoring position, Dave Hollins at third base playing well up in on the grass.
The very fact that he has been known to do that, of course, buys him some other hits, because you got to play him that way.
That's right. You have to play him up, and then that just increases the size of that hole on the left side of the infield. He can either chop the ball over Hollins' head, or the hole between third and short becomes a little wider, because Hollins has to play up. He can't cut off quite that much of the hole.
Ball 3, 3-0.
But if Tommy doesn't throw a strike, it all becomes a moot point.
Yeah, and he's got a hot hitter coming up next, too, Offerman. He's 2 for 2 tonight, so you'd like to see Green get in the groove and go ahead and get Butler for the last out here. Ball 4. That's the first walk given up by Tommy. 2 on with 2 outs, and Offerman has a pair of singles to center field. They were both hard hit. Dalton out to talk with Tommy before they work on Offerman, probably saying, let's try something a little different this time.
Well, you got a 5-0 lead in the 5th inning, and I can guarantee you what Dutch is telling the show. Hey, let's stay on top of our game. We're doing things well. You're throwing the ball well. Don't get sloppy now. Keep working. Pitch the game as if it's a 1-0, 2-0 ball game. Don't pitch it as if it's a 5-0 ball game, because it's just the 5th inning. There's plenty of time left in this ball game for the Dodgers.
Nice block by Dalton. Those runners were going to move on that. 1-0, and Tommy snaps at the ball coming back. Dalton saved one here.
Yeah, nice job. Not able to get completely squared up on that ball, but was able to catch the ball in the middle of his mitt. We mentioned before the one bounced off the edge and kicked away from him. This time able to get the ball in the center of that big catcher's mitt. Come up with it cleanly.
Strike. 1-1. Offerman's average 279 after his 2 for 2 tonight.
See Dutch right there motioning, keep the ball down, keep the ball down. Early in the ball game, everything Tommy was throwing was down. This inning, a few of the pitches starting to wander up in the strike zone.
Offerman misses that one. 1-2.
Even though Tommy is a power pitcher, much more effective when he has the ball down in the strike zone.
Why does a pitcher tend to get the ball up?
Well, you can be tired, or you try to overthrow, and if you try to overthrow, your body gets out ahead of your arm, and you're not able to drive the ball down to the lower part of the strike zone. Tommy is capable of throwing the ball just as hard down as he does up.
Green has it on one hop. Flip over to Kruk, and that'll take care of the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit, they leave 2, and through 5 it remains 5-0 Phillies.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You know he's not perfect, but on certain days in his life, he has been. The night he poured in 63 points. The time he crushed 3 home runs in the World Series. The day he found Dwight Clark in the end zone. And you wish at some point, at some moment in your life, you could be that perfect too. And that's why you cheer for him. That's why you believe in heroes.
Come on, let's get a cold one.
Our total attendance for today's game.
Oh, would you look at this beer line? I'm gonna go back. What? Foul ball? No, I'm not. Foul ball!
Foul ball! Foul ball! Out the way!
I got it!
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Make it 2 Bud Lights, please.
make it a Bud Light.
Hey, you got another ball?
The Phillies look to cook a Canadian goose when they play Montreal Tuesday, August 10th, and Wednesday, August 11th at 7:35, and Thursday, August 12th at 12:35 at a business person special. Then Bonilla, Doc, and the Mets make a house call Friday, August 13th, 7:35, Saturday, August 14th, 7:05, and Sunday, August 15th at 1:35, when kids 14 and under get a free Phillies road jersey. Call 463-1000.
Looking ahead to the Phillies San Francisco Giants series, the Phillies will be on PHL 17 tomorrow at 4. It's a Friday night game that comes back your way at 10:30, and Sunday afternoon again at 4 on the final game of this road trip. Hope you can join us for the Phillies against the Giants. Omar Dahl, the left-hander and the only left-hander in the Dodger bullpen, comes on to pitch here. Dahl is making his 31st appearance, all of them in relief. He's 1-3, 5.29 earned run average. Made his major league debut against the Phillies April 23rd this year at Veterans Stadium. 1 inning of shutout relief against the Phillies. And then later the Phillies handed him his first major league loss. That was on April 30th in this ballpark. That's a pretty good ride by Morandini, but he's out. Caught out there by Butler. Morandini out for the first out of the 6th. Tommy Green will bat.
It's kind of interesting that Lasorda is using Dahl in this ball game, number 1, in this part of the ball game. Dahl, as you mentioned, been in 30 ball games this year. only pitched 17 innings, so he's not even averaging 2/3 of an inning per appearance. The only left-hander on the ball club. Of course, the Dodgers with a weekend series coming up with the Mets. A guy that you normally don't get a whole lot of innings out of, and you're only left-hander, and you're going to go out there and, you know, at least situation calls for you to use him for a couple innings tonight.
Might that mean that they're trying to stretch him out a little bit, that they feel as though they really haven't been able to use him for as many hitters as they would like?
I don't know. I mean, I just can't figure it out. If you have a guy like this in your bullpen and he's your only left-hander, you would almost, you know, think that he has to be used, pick your spots, use him against certain left-handed hitters, and that seems to be the way the Dodgers have used him all year long.
Well, the only one thing I was thinking, I read in the paper where he hasn't pitched well lately, so I thought maybe they'd like to send him out there and let him maybe get a feel for some success instead of just coming in a crunch situation all the time and maybe having some failure looking at him. We'll see how he makes out here. Do or die, Snyder did, and he throws him out. That's a typical third baseman's play. Either get it or you don't, and Corey Snyder did the right thing. 2 outs.
Snyder does a nice job on his ball, comes and gets it on the short hop. You'd like to get this ball in the air, not able to do that, but plays it on the short hop, gets rid of it quickly and accurately to Karros at third base. For a guy that's played the outfield most of his career, Snyder does a nice job there of charging, gloving, and throwing the ball to first base.
Bases empty, 2 outs. Lenny Dykstra, they haven't been able to get him tonight. Lenny has popped a single into shallow right center and walked twice. Lenny at 298. 77 walks, leaves him only 1 behind league leader John Kruk, who got his 78th tonight. Inside, Dahl brushes him back. Well, starting tomorrow, the Phillies are going to have to deal with a guy that Jim Fregosi will walk anytime, any place to keep from having him hurt him. And I'm talking about Barry Bonds. I mean, he'll walk him in the first inning.
That's right.
And not too many guys that you will give that accolade to. Just missed. 2-1. Bonds always looks in the Phillies dugout and tips his cap or grins or something like that.
But you know he doesn't like it.
No, he'd rather swing that bat. Strike. 2-2. Dodger bullpen has done a real good job. Jim Gott has really returned to form this year. He's been outstanding, and Roger McDowell's having a much better year than he had last year. But the real hero of the Dodger bullpen has been Ramon Martinez's little brother, Pedro. He's turned out to be a good one.
Second on the club in wins with 7. Been very consistent, pitching middle relief for the Dodgers all year long.
He's talking with Vince Scully, the Dodger broadcaster, before the game. Vince says that they think his long-term use will be as a starter. He was always a starter in the minor leagues. Lenny Dykstra on base for the 4th straight time. A single and 3 walks.
Mariano, Duncan, shortstop.
That is the 7th walk the Dodgers have given the Phillies tonight, and we're in the 6th inning. Duncan with a big 2-run single the last time he was up there. Mariano 2 for 3 tonight. And Peronowski says, my, too many walks.
The Dodgers are not used to that. Over the years, Dodgers pitchers with good control, very few walks. And speaking of Pedro Martinez down in the bullpen, Ramon, of course, started last night. Don't think you're done with the Martinezes yet.
Another one?
There's another one. Jesus, a left-hander, is in the Dodger system. He's coming along. In fact, I got a chance to see him throw this spring, and I'll tell you what, of the 3, he may have the best arm in the bunch.
Really? How old is he now?
I think he's 20 years old.
Oh. Runner goes and fouled away. Lenny was on the move there, and he'll have to come back. Phillies are ahead here 5-0. We're in the 6th. Great to have Duncan back and available again. The Phillies really missed him because he makes them so much more versatile.
Jim Fergosi likes to have his bat available.
Oh, yeah.
And you can take Dunk and spot him, spell a guy, give Morandini a break, play some shortstop for you, do a lot of things. And yet, when he's not doing any one of those, Jim Fergosi has always got him on the bench to send up there against that one good left-handed pitcher that Dunk just eats up.
The funny thing is, this year, his average against right-handers is higher than it is against left-handers. I know that's not been his career reputation, but this year, that's been the case. In fact, I marked it down before the game, 278 off right-handers, 238 off left-handers.
But I'll still, a guy with a long record that says he's good against a short record that says he's having a little trouble, I'll take the long record any day.
Sure. Right now, he's going to be playing some shortstop for the next little while with Stocker out, but in case you joined us late, we did have some good news on Stocker. He, talking with Kevin, he said he kept ice on it for about a half hour before going to bed and then had a big sleeve on it that kept air in there. And they've got all kinds of new devices to treat things like that now. And some of those injuries which would have been more serious a few years ago can now be controlled to some degree.
This last pitch right here, Duncan fouled it off, but it was not a pitch. First base umpire Brian Gorman calls a balk. Or maybe it was Gary Darling, second base umpire. I saw Gorman point to second base and send Dykstra down. Maybe Darling made the call, but whatever the case may be, a balk called on Dahl.
He didn't stop long, did he?
No, it was a slight hesitation, but it did appear to be a hesitation. Nonetheless, Dykstra at second base.
Phillies ahead 5-0. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dunk, who fouls it right into his old dugout. He was a member of the Dodgers here for a few years. In fact, it was always reported that he and Tommy Lasorda were not exactly the best of friends. Grounded towards second. Reed's got it. Throw to first. Third out recorded. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. Phillies lead 5-0.
If you're not watching Twin Peaks on Bravo, here's what you're missing.
Hi.
Who are you?
Laura was my cousin.
Laura had secrets. I know who killed Laura Palmer.
Twin Peaks. Fridays at 8 and Sundays at 10. Only on Bravo.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
The other day, these guys came to me and said, Kirby, how'd you like to be in a cross-training commercial for Nike? You wear the shoes, right? We could come film your workout. So I say to them, let me get this straight. You want to make a 3-hour commercial?
Cardinals and the Pirates headed to Philadelphia when the Phils get off this road trip. Those games begin July 27th, 3 with the Cards, and then the Bucks in for the weekend starting Friday the 30th. Got the business person special on the 29th and nostalgia game on the 1st. The number for your tickets is 463-1000. 5-0 Phillies. Corey Snyder 0 for 2. He has line to center, fly to right. David Stein is here at the ball game. He's from Levittown, Pennsylvania. Sent us up a note here. He says he has his broom out tonight.
Aha.
You know what that means. He's
Would be nice.
Rooting for the Phillies to sweep it.
The Ryder came to clean up the stadium after the game's over with.
Two balls and one strike. Snyder, Karros, and Piazza. Tommy Green facing the heart of the Dodger order here. Probably the three toughest hitters they have.
And even in a 5-0 ball game, this is an important inning for Tommy. Number one, because as you mentioned, in the middle of that order. But number two, this has been the point. Is six innings has kind of been the wall for Tommy the last three starts. So, and we noticed last inning some of those fastballs starting to wander up in the strike zone. So you want to really bear down and make some good pitches right here.
John Kruk scoops it, needs Tommy's cover, gave him a nice lead on the throw. Snyder is out. Tommy does his part, getting off the mound in a hurry. One out.
Well, Tommy does two nice things right here. Number one, he gets the ball down and away to Snyder to get the ground ball. And then John Kruk and Tommy do a nice job of that play that you work thousands and thousands of times in spring training and PFP. First baseman to the pitcher covering. John does a nice job, gets the ball out and shows it to Tommy, makes the play very simple.
Do you work on that with those Dreamweavers?
We do work on that with the Dreamweaver. The progression's just a little bit slower. It takes us a little longer to get through the drill, but we do cover that.
Karros 0 for 2, fly to left, fly to right.
I must say, though, in those drills that we do in Dreamweaver, sometimes they don't always work quite as fluidly as that last play did.
Tommy falling behind here 3-0. He has issued just one walk tonight. Strike, it's 3-1.
We mentioned the first two times around, Mike Piazza come up with nobody on. That's the way you want to do it. So keep working, Tommy, and make it happen again.
Oh, but Thompson is there. Line drive hit hard by Karros. You know, when you're in a slump like he is right now, even the ones you hit hard are being caught.
And just again proves that if you throw the ball hard and you throw it over the plate, good things can happen. You can't defensive walk, but you can make a play like that against Corey Snyder. Now, these are the first two at-bats, Mike Piazza. First time up, strike three, fastball just a little bit off the plate outside. Second time, Tommy goes to a little bit of a cut fastball, same location, starts it in the same place. Again, gets Piazza to swing at the fastball off the outside part of the plate.
This one he fights off and hammers it down the right field line, only fouled by a couple of feet. Mike is 6th in the league in RBIs. He has 63 of them.
Well, Tommy has consistently tonight been staying away from Piazza. He's kept the ball away. He's had good success out there. He's ahead in the count now. Now is a good time, if you want to run one of those fastballs inside. You know where your success is. It's outside. You can go back inside now and get Piazza. You can see now he's starting to realize that they're out there all the time. He's starting to lean, hedge a little more and a little more toward the outside. Now's when you want to throw that good hard fastball inside, straighten him back up, and get your spot in the plate back. There goes Dutch to the inside.
He did jam him. Fly ball right field. Eisenreich there. And a 1-2-3 inning against the heart of the batting order. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Extra, he batted .336, and he scored a run in each of 15 straight games. Lenny Dykstra, the Phillies home team mustard player of the month of June, helped put his team on top. Along with Kent DeCalvi, Andy Musser here at Dodger Stadium. The Phillies have a 5-0 lead. We're moving to the 7th inning now. And John Kruk leads it off. Kruk has walked, grounded out into a double play, and flied to left. And Tommy Green just went through the heart of the order, and he's feeling pretty good about this, but he still needs 9 outs.
Went through the heart of the order in a 1-2-3 inning. Starting to get deeper and deeper into the ball game. So Tommy, that inning especially, was able to get the ball back down in the strike zone. We mentioned that in the 5th inning, the ball had started wandering up a little bit, made the corrections, and remember Dalton went out and talked to him. Keep working, got it back down, had a nice easy 1-2-3 inning right through the heart of the Dodger lineup.
Dahl always works from the stretch. 1-1. Talking about the heart of the order, that's exactly what Dahl has to face here. He's got Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton, 3, 4, and 5. center field. Butler makes the call. Truck is out, one down in the seventh. Dave Hollins has not been able to contribute anything so far tonight. He'll turn around and bat right-handed here. Dave has struck out, lined to third, grounded to second. On that ground ball to second, he was really robbed. That was the one where Jody Reed went far to his left in the hole. Dave at 272. Down the right field line, foul and out of play. Omar Dahl, the only left-hander on the Dodgers staff. Dahl is only 21 years of age. He's from Venezuela. Phillies have beaten him twice this year. He's 0-2 against the Phils.
Mentioned Dahl, the only left-hander on the Dodger roster. When the Dodgers went to spring training this year, they had 3 left-handers in camp. Steve Wilson, who ended up making the ball club, former Philly Wally Ritchie, and Lee Guterman were the 3 guys. They thought initially 2 of those guys were going to make the ball club. Only Wilson did. He started out struggling. Hollins whips the ball down in the left field corner.
He does. Davis, you almost look for Davis to catch that. He's caught so many of them. Hollins wants 3. He never slowed down. Oh, he went in hard to the bag at third. It's a triple for Dave Hollins on a ball that, first of all, you thought Davis might catch, and secondly would then be a double, and Hollins did not settle for a double.
Well, Davis just leisurely chases this ball. He sees that he can't get it here. Now watch. The ball hits off the fence, and he just kind of lopes along after it, not really hustling. Hollins hustling all the way, turns a double into a triple. Just in time.
Now the Dodgers will have to bring their infield in. They trail 5-0. There's 1 out in the inning. So Dalton sitting on an RBI opportunity here. Darren has walked last 2 times up. So officially he's 0 for 1 tonight.
And that's a big 90 feet for Dave Hollins, because he's in a position now with 1 out where Dalton can score him without a base hit. Just a nice long fly ball to the outfield to get the Phillies another run. If he's at second base, it's going to take a base hit out of one of the next 2 hitters to score him.
Attendance tonight, 47,818. That's the largest crowd of this 3-game series. A roller. That's a foul ball. Foul ball.
And it rolled right off of Darren's shin. Catcher says, if you don't get hit enough sitting behind the plate, blocking balls and doing all the other things you have to do back there, wearing all that heavy equipment on hot afternoons, then you foul balls off your feet, your shins, your thighs, your knees. They call them the tools of ignorance, but you got to be a man to wear them.
Amen. 1 and 2 on Darren. That should get the job done for sure. Butler catches, and it's 6-0 Phillies as Hollins scores. RBI number 70 for Darren Dalton.
So Darren Dalton gets the RBI, but half of that should go to Dave Hollins with the hustle, turning a double into a triple. Eric Davis taking his time retrieving the ball in left field. Hollins hustles, gets himself in position, and nobody appreciates that more than Darren Dalton. So credit half of that RBI at least to Dave Hollins.
Eisenreich 2 out of 3 tonight.
And give the whole run to the Phillies.
Absolutely. 6-0 Phillies. Eisenreich has hiked his average to .352. strike. 2-1 on Eisenreich.
I was talking about Dahl earlier and mentioning Steve Wilson had been sent down because he was ineffective. Dahl wasn't even in camp with the Dodgers, but yet has been in 30 ball games for him, this being his 31st.
Jody Reed makes the play, and the Phillies are out. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left on base. Stretch time and 6-0 Phillies.
Bravo invites you to experience a powerful film. A tough but tender drama, full of emotion, full of energy.
You break everybody's heart. Everybody who loves you, you break their heart.
Presenting Robert Mulligan's Blood Brothers. Richard Gere and Paul Sorvino star in Blood Brothers. On Bravo.
Only your Quality Plus Ford dealer has the #1 selling car in America, the Ford Taurus. For a limited time, drive the Taurus for just $249 a month for 24 months. Loaded with value. $249 per month is a great payment on Taurus. Hurry, it's only available at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
When my doctor said to start exercising, I knew I wasn't 25 anymore. But that's when I called Bill, my nationwide insurance agent.
Jim had some questions, so we did a nationwide care review. We talked about his financial plan, life insurance, disability coverage, even retirement.
Yeah, we covered everything.
It turns out Jim was okay just the way he was.
Insurance-wise, right?
Right.
The care review from Nationwide, because things change.
Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. When should women on hormone replacement therapy examine their breast? Doctors recommend women examine their breast on the same day each month to make a comparison to the previous exam more accurate.
Eric Davis leads off the bottom of the 7th inning, and the fans are getting on Eric. There's no doubt about it. He has flied to center and struck out. Davis, Rodriguez, and Reed to bat in the 7th for the Dodgers. Still, Tommy Green needs 9 outs. Eric at 240.
It was Davis's lack of hustle last inning that allowed Hollins to alertly take third base on that play. Fans here at Dodger Stadium noticed it and are responding appropriately to that. No excuse for that for any ball player not to play hard for 9 innings. It's only 3 hours. There's no reason you can't play hard for all 9 innings.
Well, he swung hard. 2-2.
Either run as hard as he swung. Phillies would probably only have 5 runs on the board right now instead of 6.
Roger McDowell, he was in last night's ball game. High fly ball. Thompson should get it. 1 out.
Right fielder, Henry.
Business person special number 4, Thursday, August 12th at 12:35 game. It's the 4th midweek game. Great baseball matchups. Terrific fun in the sun. The day is sponsored by Mellon PSFS. So make your plans early. Order your tickets easily by calling 463-1000 or stop by Veterans Stadium ticket office.
Here's Henry Rodriguez, 2 for 2 in the game, both singles. Tommy still with good stuff. Rodriguez batting .244. Strike 2. That'll be out of play. Talked about that Giants series forthcoming. We gave you the pitchers tomorrow, Mulholland and Burkett. Friday in the night game, Curt Schilling goes against Greg Brummett, a young right-hander the Phillies have not faced. Saturday afternoon, Ben Rivera goes against Dave Bourbon. Speaking of Ben, I talked to him before the ball game. That index finger is much better, very little swelling, and he is certain that he'll be able to go on Saturday. Danny Jackson Sunday goes against 13-game winner Billy Swift. Two and two.
Notice right now, Tommy doesn't have quite the same velocity he had at the beginning of the game. Losing a little bit of his velocity, but still the control is there. He's been able to keep the ball away from his left-handed hitters.
Funny hop. Morandini stays with it, though, and Rodriguez is out. Crazy hop off the edge of that grass.
Second baseman, Jody Reed.
The batter will be Jody Reed. Tommy has struck him out twice. Tommy's big victims tonight have been Piazza and Reed. 4 of his 5 strikeouts against that pair. Ball 1 on him. Dave Hansen out in the on-deck circle to bat for Dahl. Spare infielder. Hit to right center field. Dykstra there. Makes the catch, and down go the Dodgers in order. We finish 7, 6-0 Phillies.
Well, sports fans, the All-Star break is over, which means summer is half over, and some of us still have a little painting to do. That's why Sherwin-Williams is having their American...
Channel brought to you by Bud Light. There's a break in the action. Ought to be a great time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. It's a big hit with fans everywhere because it won't fill you up and never let you down. So make it a Bud Light. And by your local Colony Plus Ford dealer, where you'll find 5 of the top 10 best-selling vehicles in America. Omar Dahl goes into his 3rd inning of work. I think this might be his longest outing of the year.
Well, it probably has to be, as we mentioned, not even averaging 2/3 of an inning per appearance so far this year. Dahl into his 3rd inning.
Milt Thompson leads off for the Phillies. Thompson 1 for 3 RBI single. Phillies ahead 6-0. Carroll's, he's going to use the cover of Dahl since he had hustled to get off the mound. Why not?
Mickey
1 out.
Morandini, second base.
Morandini will bat. Mickey 0 for 3. 1 run scored. Cardinals moving in for a very important series beginning Tuesday, July 27th. They'll be in for 3, including a businessman special on July 29th. Then the Pirates for 3. That starts Friday, July 30th, 7:35, and we've got the nostalgia game Sunday, August 1. 4-6-3-1000. Get your tickets, and hopefully you'll get them in advance. Did you catch that old-fashioned phrase I used in there? I called that a businessman special. We haven't called them that for years. It is a business person special. I was not politically correct.
No, that's right.
Sorry.
All business persons are invited to join us.
That's right. I was not trying to discriminate. I just took a little shortcut there. 2 balls and no strikes. That's Pedro Martinez. And we're going to see him because the Dodgers will pinch hit the bottom half of the inning, and Pedro will pitch the 9th. Two balls and a strike. Shallow left field. Here comes Davis. Makes the play. Morandini is out. Tommy Green's coming up. Tommy is a hitter tonight, 0 for 2. He also walked and scored a run. In fact, he scored the first of the Phillies' 6 runs. Nice job by Omar Dahl. He has allowed 1 hit. That was Holland's smash that he raced into a triple and then turned into a run. Greeny doesn't hit a whole lot for average, but he sure does hit for power. That's Jim Goddard, so we don't know who's coming in. But we have a little ways to find out because the Dodgers have to hit first. Tommy does a little dance to get out of the way there. 2-0.
Well, the situation could have been Martinez could have been up just to pitch possibly in this inning if Dahl got in trouble, but after getting the first 2 outs, Lasorda may have switched over to Gott now, who will probably pitch the 9th inning. Give him a little bit of head start on warming up.
Tommy turns on one down the line. You can get a cheap home run here, but that one's foul. That was a heck of a try for one, because with the low fence and the short area down the lines, both left and right, you can get an easy home run here. Look at that.
Only 330 down the line, which is a little bit shorter than normal. Low fence. Tommy finally got one of those balls up and in, the pitch that he does like. You can't throw Tommy Green those fastballs up and in. That's the pitch that he will hammer, and he likes to get that bat out in front on that pitch.
He's got a base hit. Tommy with a 2-out single, hit number 8 for the Phillies.
Well, Dahl learned one lesson. He got the ball back down in the strike zone, but he got it out in the middle of the plate. And again, any fastball that Tommy Green sees, he likes. Not real proud about hitting that one that spins a lot, but the fastball, Tommy will take his hacks at that pitch. Grounds it through the left side.
Dykstra on base 4 straight times, 3 walks, 1 looping single. Base hit. Lenny on base for the 5th straight time. Lenny's average ought to be right up at about the 300 mark now. He came in at 296 tonight, and he's 2 for 2.
I had that calculated this afternoon, and he's hitting exactly 300.
Right boy,
now. 2 for 2 is what it took. We've been talking all year long about Lenny talking about getting to 300 as one of his goals. Well,
he's there.
That base hit right there got him to 300. Now you have to stay there.
A harder task. Duncan.
But what an accomplishment from where he came.
Oh, that's true. Well, Mariano's 2 out of 4 tonight. He's driven in 2 of the runs. Dahl might be tiring. It's a long stretch for him.
Well, you mentioned Tommy Lasorda and Ron Peronowski taking the chance tonight to stretch Omar Dahl out a little bit, and it looks like some of the fans are starting to stretch themselves out, heading for the parking lot, stretching the legs out, getting a little early jump on the traffic here at Dodger Stadium.
Foul back. This ballpark is about perfectly located. They've got 4 or 5 different freeways that you can get on right out of the parking lot here. Easy access to Dodger Stadium, which is really not that far from right downtown Los Angeles. Mariano chased one out of the strike zone. 1-2. 14-2. Atlanta puts a thumping on those St. Louis Cardinals. Francisco Cabrera had a grand slam. The Phillies can up their lead to 5 games with a victory here tonight. Base hit for Duncan. Going to get another RBI. Tommy Green to the plate. Dykstra to third. 7-0 Phillies. Duncan has driven in 3.
Mariano Duncan tacks another run on, makes it 7-0. Dahl again with that fastball up in the strike zone. Duncan this time hits it into left center cleanly. Scores Tommy Green from second base, moves Lenny around to third. Tommy Green says, "Thank you very much. I'll take all the extra runs I can get, even if I have to score them myself."
And he's done that twice.
So the Phillies score a run after 2 outs and nobody on.
John Kruk looking for a hit. He's 0 for 3. He has walked once. Tommy Lasorda is just bound and determined that Dahl's going to get the last out, and he doesn't have to waste an extra pitcher here.
It's also been a tough series for Tommy. You can see it starting to wear on him a little bit.
You know, When the series started on Monday, the Dodgers had won 4 of their last 5. They had moved 7 games over 500, and they have a favorable schedule the rest of the way. They've got many more home games than road games. So this has been a setback for him. Ball 3, 3-0.
I think just as we were talking a few minutes ago, Dahl has hit the wall. I mean, this is the longest appearance of his career, and averaging only 2/3 or less than 2/3 of an inning per appearance. He's just plain ran out of gas.
Strike, 3-1.
When you watch pitchers, especially relief pitchers who are used to keeping the ball down in the strike zone, you start seeing a lot of those high fastballs. You know that's a problem.
3-2. McDowell up. Gott standing there. They're keeping us guessing, aren't they?
Well, I think Gott's in line to pitch the next inning. He's got Roger up now. Instead of Martinez, it's Rogers' turn to try to get out of this inning if Dahl cannot do it.
Crooks sends a topper on the right side. Going to be a tough play. But Dahl is there, and he says, thank goodness he had the ball for a second and threw it away. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left. Phillies ahead 7-0. Phillies have a 7-0 lead, and Dave Hansen will be leading it off for LA. He'll be batting for the pitcher Omar Dahl. Hansen at 306, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. He's the Dodgers' best pinch hitter, 11 for 33, including a pinch home run.
Hansen used by the Dodgers almost exclusively as a pinch hitter. Very seldom will you see Hansen in the field. 36 at bats this year.
33 as a pinch hitter.
33, yeah, 36, 33 as a pinch hitter. So that means he's played 1 game. Got 3 at bats in it. Probably doesn't even bring the glove out to the bench anymore. Just bring the batting gloves and the bat.
Probably doesn't know which glove to bring. He is an infielder.
All we know he's at least 3rd in line at 3rd base.
But getting closer.
Yeah, well, he's 2nd in line now, I guess.
Creeping up. Foul ball, 2-2. Speaking of reserve infielders, how about the job that Steve Scarsoni has done for San Francisco in the absence of Robbie Thompson? I mean, he has played great baseball up there. And Paul Ferries did a pretty good job filling in 2 when Matt Williams was out.
The Giants just having one of those seasons that whatever they need, they get. And you know, anybody that Dusty Baker puts in any position, he's been getting production from them.
And the count is full on the pinch hitter Hansen. Then the top of the lineup, Butler and Offerman. Walked in. Only the second free pass.
Butler, center field.
Looks like it's going to be Gott against the Phillies in the 9th.
Gott has made his way in from the bullpen. Figure they had enough throwing last inning. Don't need to do any more right now. Come in and sit down, get a little rest before I go out there and pitch to the Phillies. The top of the 9th inning.
Butler is 0 for 1 tonight. He is also sacrificed and walked. Butler was going to make him throw a strike. No way he was going to swing at that first pitch.
The only thing he was going to do, if he was going to do anything at all, would be fake a bunt. But take it anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. There was no way he was going to offer. Down 7-0. Dodgers need base runners.
0-2 on him.
I know what's going through Brett Butler's head right now. Every time you go up there and you know you're going to take a strike and you have to take a strike, the pitcher will throw one, and the next pitch will be something like that that completely fools you, and now you're in the hole 0-2. You're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're doing what you have to do, but it never seems to work out the way you want it to.
Dutch sets up outside, but the pitch comes low and inside. 1-2. There has not been any activity whatsoever in the Phillies' pen tonight. Dutch outside again. Butler hits it away. 1-2. Tommy has completed 5 games this year, one of which was a shutout. Dodgers really haven't had that many opportunities tonight. They have 5 hits and they left 5 men on base. 2-2. Ben Rivera is scheduled to start on Saturday for the Phillies. He did a little light tossing on the side today.
Yeah, he sees him. They got a monitor down there in the bullpen, so he knows he's on TV now. That used to always upset me. You go down to the bullpen, now the relievers are down there to do their work. And the starters think that, that's just a nice place to go and hide during the ball game because the manager doesn't know what's going on down there. You're out of the way. You're not in the dugout where he's going to keep telling you, pay attention to what's going on, do this and anything. So they come down to the bullpen and they mess with us. Irish Mike Ryan down there at his side. The general of the bullpen. He's trying to figure out where the shot's coming.
Into left field, Thompson should play it. And there's 1 out. Butler is out. That's 1 down in the 8th. Jose Offerman. He is 2 out of 3, a pair of singles. Phillies lead 7-0. They've out hit the Dodgers 10-5.
And with that out, Tommy Green now has recorded his longest appearance since the last of 5 straight complete games that he threw, and that one was on June 5th against the Rockies. This is the longest that he's gone since that point, and that was right after that was when Tommy really started having his problems. So this is a good indicator that Tommy, he had a good strong 6 innings last game. Now he's taken the game farther than he has since June 5th. So another good outing. Even though Tommy lost the last game, it was still a good outing for him. Just had that one disastrous inning. Now has put another one right behind it and can start to feel that the momentum again for Tommy Green is starting to build.
Outside, playing off the runner at first. Hansen is not being held by Kruk. Should be caught by Dykstra. 2 outs in the 8th. When he makes the play on Offerman, Corey Snyder will bat.
Corey Snyder, third base.
Tommy will work on Snyder, who he's gotten 3 times tonight. He lined to center, flied to right, grounded to first. Snyder batting .276. Darren's mask.
Right now, if you're Tommy Green, you should look at this as if you have 2 hitters to get 1 out. You want to get an out of Snyder or Karros, because if you let both of those guys get on, then Piazza gets a chance to come up. If he could get hold of one, you can make this a 7-4 ball game. All of a sudden, the Dodgers would have a shot in the 9th inning. If you can close it out right here, the Dodgers really in big trouble going into the 9th inning. So
because they would then go into the 9th without their big hitters coming up.
And Piazza not in a position to drive in a big amount of runs is what the Dodgers need right now to get back in this ball game.
Nice going. Tommy strikes him out. His 6th strikeout. Dodgers out in the 8th. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. Go to the 9th. Jim Gott on the hill for the Dodgers.
Gott making his 43rd appearance in the year. 3 wins, 5 losses, a .252 earned run average. Leads the Dodger club with 17 saves.
And somebody might be asking, why is Jim Gott pitching with the Dodgers down 7-0? Would that be a legitimate question?
I think it would be a legitimate question. Gott has not pitched in the first 2 games of this series. Hasn't had an opportunity to get work, so probably the sort of just going to give him an innings work. You have to keep those guys sharp. You don't want them to go too long. So Jim Gott going out there. Number 1, obviously, tried to hold the Phillies at bay, but number 2, and probably more importantly to Lasorda and Paranowski at this point, get an innings work in so that he's sharp for tomorrow's ball game against the New York Mets.
Collins tripled and hustled it into a run the last time. Check swing. They're going to get him on a check swing, and Dave carries the pack 3/4 of the way to first base. 1 down.
Darren Dalton.
Now Gott will go to work on Darren Dalton officially in the game tonight. Dalton is 0 for 1. That was a line drive in the first inning. In the meantime, he's walked twice and driven in a run on a sacrifice fly. Base hit. Dalton singles to center field. Hit number 11 for the Phils.
Darren Dalton, it seems since the All-Star break, has started to use more of the center of the field. Remember last year, early in the year, he had a lot of success because he was hitting the ball up the middle and the other way. Earlier this year, the pitchers were pitching him in because of the fact that he'd been hitting so many balls the other way. He was doing the pulling, so he was getting pitches that he could pull and drive. Now all of a sudden, second time around, the pitchers are making the adjustment, starting to work him away. Darren making the counter adjustment, moving himself back to hitting the ball in the middle of the field again.
Eisenreich 2 for 4 tonight, and in the series 7 for 14. He's hitting at .350. Out of play. Well, it was Orel Hershiser at the outset tonight, and wildness cost Orel tonight. He gave up 6 walks, 3 wild pitches. Phillies got 5 of their 7 runs off Orel, the other 2 off Omar Dahl. Ground ball is short. There's 1 out, and that's a double play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 7-0 Phillies.
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. I've got a special offer on out-of-print collector baseball cards. Now you can own 200 genuine collectible baseball cards for the unbelievable price of $9.95. It's a collector's dream come true. Each set contains baseball cards going as far back as 1986 and including Topps, Donruss, and Upper Deck that are no longer being printed. Over the years, the value of baseball cards has skyrocketed, and while no one can guarantee baseball cards will go up in value, we can guarantee each set will have star, superstar, rookie, and all-star cards. So take it from me, Mel Allen. At this price, these cards could be gone. 200 genuine collectible baseball cards, no duplicates, mint condition, only $9.95 each, plus $2.95 postage, limit of 5 per household. So get cracking. Call now to order.
It's the 4th Business Person Special of the season. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Thursday, August 12th at 12:35 when the Phillies play the young, explosive Expos. Put some exciting baseball on your calendar. Call 463-1000.
Phillies fans bring 4 leaf wrappers and a complete offer certificate to the Phillies ticket office and receive a 600 level reserve ticket to any of the remaining games in July. Leaf candy brands include Milk Duds, Jolly Rancher candies, Payday, Health Bar, Rainbow candies. Look for details at Veterans Stadium or wherever Leaf candies are sold. Tickets subject to availability. Last chance for the Dodgers. Tommy Green's going to try to get away with a shutout here tonight.
As I mentioned last innings, Tommy's longest stint since that string of 5 straight complete games, going out here in the 9th now, trying to wrap up a shutout and a complete game here against the Dodgers this evening. As you mentioned, Tommy not throwing nearly as hard as he did early in the game, but the last couple innings has been able to get by moving the ball around in the strike zone, still keeping the ball down fairly well. Jumps out in front of Karras with a fastball, and get a little bit of an advantage in a situation like this because the Dodgers should be taking a strike, so therefore gives you an advantage. You don't have to be quite so fine on the first pitch. If you can just go ahead and pump that first pitch in here, then the count is in your favor and you have an opportunity to go ahead and work the hitter.
Hit well to center, but Dykstra plays it out. 1 down in the 9th. When he wound up on the warning track, Karras is out.
Well, what you can do, especially if you're not overpowering at this point in the game, if you've still got your control, throw the fastball, but keep it away. Make the hitters hit it to the big part of the ballpark. That's exactly what Tommy did to Karras. Hits the ball well, but he hits it out toward that 395 sign, almost straight away center. Lenny has plenty of room to go back and get it on the warning track.
Piazza 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to right.
And has not hit with a man on base all evening.
That's just the way the Phillies want it.
Remember that last at bat, Tommy, after throwing away to Piazza, finally did come in. Got that little jam fly ball to right field. Now you see this at bat goes back out there and starts out on the outside corner again.
Back up the middle, Piazza's got a base hit. The 6th hit given up by Green. Here is Eric Davis. Davis 0 for 3. Fly to center. Strike 3 called. Fly to left.
I'll tell you what, if you can go through as well as Piazza's been hitting all year long, if you can go through an evening, give him 4 at bats, and he gets 1 ground ball base hit with 1 man on and nobody on and 1 out, you got to take your chances with that. You got to like that for an evening's work. Fans here booing that first pitch to Eric Davis up and in.
Yeah, well.
No reason to throw at anybody when you're winning 7-0. You got the game in hand. Just go ahead and finish it off and head for San Francisco.
Swing and a miss. The last time up, they were booing Eric himself. So.
Maybe they were booing that they missed him.
Time is called now. The time is called. Duncan's coming to the mound. Is Tommy Green hurt? Darren Dalton's going to walk out that way. And the trainer's coming out and Fragosi's coming out. Did Tommy hurt something?
It appears after that last pitch, Tommy went to the back of the mound.
Well, wouldn't that be a fine finish to a game? The Phillies lead 7-0 with 1 out in the 9th.
Jim Fragosi, any sign at all right now that there's any kind of an injury, and it appears the way Tommy's reacting as if it is a groin injury, a pulled groin type injury. Fragosi already has signaled to the bullpen. Joe West waving down there. Action had just started in the Philly bullpen, so Tommy Green will not throw his complete game tonight, will not get his shutout. And it appears as if that last pitch, he did pull something in that groin area, so he goes off the field with trainer Jeff Cooper. They'll take him immediately into the trainer's room and start treatment on that, as well as Tommy's been throwing his last couple of starts.
Let's see.
You want to make sure you take good care of that.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, you can see right there, he reacts after the pitch. Groin injury is a type of injury that just, when you're fatigued, when you're tired, as Tommy, would naturally be at this point in the ball game. If you stretch or reach just a little too far, that's when that type of an injury can take place, and that appears to be exactly what happened to Tommy Green.
Roger Mason will be in. We've got a pitching change. We'll be right back.
You could spend this summer just doing the same old thing again. But really cool families become part of the action at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom. It's where families go to have fun. Go play outside. You could take the kids to meet some pretty weird characters this summer. But really cool families can meet the Berenstain Bears at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom. It's where families go to have fun. Go play outside.
Look for discount coupons on 2-liter bottles of Pepsi and Diet Pepsi.
Your Quality Plus Ford dealers are #1 with the most versatile lineup of family wagons. Going on a picnic, to the store, or across country, there's a Ford wagon for every need. Now save up to $2,900 on a Ford Aerostar. Hurry, save thousands on every wagon in stock. Only at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bella Atlantic Company.
Well, Tommy Green's in the clubhouse getting that groin attended to by trainer Jeff Cooper, and the new Philly pitcher is Roger Mason, making his 9th appearance as a Philly. 1 win, no loss, a rather high 715 earned run average, but you know, when you only have a few innings in, that earned run average really doesn't count. You can have 1 ugly inning and that thing will go up. But Roger's done a nice job for the Phillies since coming over, and he will take over for Tommy Green here in the 9th inning with 1 out, and then Mike Piazza at first base. Roger appears to have finished his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to go.
Mason has been in all 3 games of the series. He was the winner here on Monday night, and he pitched an inning here last night as well. So it's a sweep for Mason. Eric Davis, and the count on Eric is 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember, we're not starting from scratch here. 2-1.
Roger Mason in one of those rare opportunities that you get very, very infrequently as a relief pitcher to be part of a combined shutout.
You know, funny you should say that. I was just looking it up. The Phillies don't have a combined shutout this year. They have all been single pitcher shutouts. Duncan with the play. 2 outs in the 9th.
Well, they're 1 out away from a combined shutout right here. Not the way you like to get it. The starting pitcher leaving because of an injury, but Phillies with the possibility then of their first combined shutout of the season. We will hope that the news on Tommy Green is as good tomorrow as the news on Kevin Stocker was today.
Henry Rodriguez is batting for LA. He is 2 out of 3 tonight.
John Kruk playing behind the runner at first base.
Ball should be caught to win the ball game. Thompson. And the Phillies pick up their 7th team shutout of the year as Mason, with a big grin, polishes it off for Tommy Green. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.
Being a fan is tough when your team isn't the home team, especially when I try to find coverage of my favorite team in the local paper. I'm lucky there's even a box score. Well, if you're like me, you'll be happy to know there's one publication that'll make you feel right at home. The Sporting News. You'll love the Sporting News no matter what team you love, even if it is the home team.
Call this number now and get 4 issues of the Sporting News free. You'll get opinions and strategies, transactions, trade rumors, injury reports, and the lowdown on the minors. Plus football, basketball, and hockey all year long. Call now and you'll get 4 free issues. If you like them, you'll get 24 more issues at this great TV price. If not, just mark the bill, cancel, and owe nothing. The 4 issues are yours to keep.
So call now for the Sporting News, the publication that treats every team like the home team.
Call now and get 4 great issues of the Sporting News free.
Call 1-800-331-6900 now.
You work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2. How you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
Number 1 in America.
Only your Quality Plus Ford dealer has the #1 selling small car, the Ford Escort. Reliable and loaded with extras. Drive the Escort for just $199 per month for 24 months. Choose from 4 models, all at one low price. $199 per month. Only at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel, brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know, ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it, a Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco. Save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola, Phillies baseball, and Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento, fine Italian food, the company that says, trust your family with our family. And by Independence Blue Cross, personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people. Phillies win the game 7-0. They have 11 hits, no errors. They leave 8. Dodgers, no runs, 6 hits, no errors. They leave 7. Tommy Green now a 12-game winner. Hershiser takes the loss. He is 7-9. And our Texaco star of the game is, in fact, Tommy Green. What a job he did tonight in winning his 12th ball game. Unfortunately, Tommy had to leave with 1 out in the 9th inning. And we'll just have to hope that that groin injury is not all that serious.
Yeah, we hope that we get the same kind of report tomorrow on Tommy Green that we got on Kevin Stocker today. That it's just a minor injury, will not hurt him, and hopefully he'll be able to make his next start.
Hitting star of the ball game has to be Mariano Duncan. Good to see Mariano back in the lineup, and he had 3 RBIs in this ball game, and really up and down the Phillies lineup. They did a good job. How about that hustle triple by Dave Hollins?
Well, Dave Hollins doing a nice job, and I think what I like the most about the ball game, when we talked about it in the open, you know, Jim Fregosi wanting the ball club to get that feeling back again. Well, tonight was a typical Philly ball game from early in the season. Plug away, get a lead, get a lead. The other team makes a mistake, tack on some more runs, and then just keep building on it and just wear the club down during the ball game. And that's exactly what the Phillies did to the Dodgers tonight. They just wore them down and beat them very soundly in this ball game.
So it's a series sweep for the Phillies. They've won 4 in a row. And now the next 4 are going to be tough because they go against the San Francisco Giants starting a little later on this afternoon at Candlestick Park. The next Phillies game on Sports Channel will be Wednesday, August 4th from Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. When the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves, game time will be 7:30. We hope you will be joining us then. Well, that's it. It's 7-0. Favor the Phillies in this one tonight. Ray Tipton has been our director. Andy Musser for Kent DeColvey. Thanks for watching. So long, everyone.